Am I muted? I'm okay. I'm unmuted. Is my screen open? I have to be
There we
okay.
go. Well, I've already unmuted and went, so
Yeah,
good for you.
yeah. Everything's working on my side.
So this is the stuff we usually should not start off with.
Hey, who
I
said
mean,
we
it's
were
just random stuff,
Yeah.
True. Though I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some that we should have been doing for the past 23. Technically, this is 23rd, so we're doing it now. So 22 episodes. Actually introducing, saying what the hell this podcast is from the very beginning. So yeah, uh, I'm already screwing it up now. It's okay then. Welcome to the Nerd Ensemble, which is basically a podcast where anything nerdy, games, technology, music, freaking random stuff that just happened on Twitter or in the news, uh, and our personal favorite, trashing YouTube, which we will have a little segment of that later. And yeah, so my name is Nexus, and we have my co-host.
Sweden Boy Gaming or Sweden Cat Boy, depending on where you're watching.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are with this kind of stuff. We're gonna start doing that every episode now, just because it's
Yeah. I
technically
have
standard for us to do.
yeah, and also the second issue is that I have to do two names because this is watched on Sweden Cat Boy Gaming on Twitch and then it's uploaded on YouTube later. That I may should have switched, but I still keep it as the late.
Sounds about right with you. Okay, what in the world happened there?
I don't know what happened in the world.
Well, I'm supposed to be compressed, meaning like I'm not supposed to go into the red, but I just went a few bars into it when I said something like, "What the hell?"
Hey, don't steal my thing,
Sorry if I
okay?
clipped your ears. Sorry
Listen,
if I clipped
don't
your
steal
ears.
my thing about going into the red.
I mean, granted, people just turn the audio down. It's not an issue. It just whenever it clips, that's an issue. But yeah, another thing I might change in the future is just take away music. For the moment, I have it for the hell of it, but later I'll probably just take it away. No music,
Yeah,
just us talking,
I mean,
which
unless you can find something
is
that's like
fine,
more
but no.
like a good sound talking
I just want like
music.
a good like ambience or instrumental. Like I just want like good music for that. And if anybody knows any good stuff out there, do let us
That
know
is
through
royal free.
anything. Yeah, roll free by the way. Don't make it anything that's gonna cause any copyright claims or issues. So yeah. So basically just like get a hold of us somehow, like, YouTube comments, social medias, that kind of stuff. Which just do at and, what we just said our names. At X7C, at Swing Catboy, whatever, just mention it.
Yeah.
Oh, and put like hashtag TNE so we know what the hell you're talking about. Because that will be a little bit random. It's just like you're like, hey, here's this random song. Like, for what?
I mean, you can always send random songs too if you want to. That's not an issue.
I mean, I guess, but it depends on the song. I don't need freaking polka music just sent to me out of nowhere. Nothing against polka music. It's just that if just random polka music, just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Great start, great start. We're
Yep.
doing beautiful.
Wait, isn't this a standard start for us?
True.
Actually, here's the thing. We normally introduce the podcast about now. That's the other thing.
Yeah, yeah. We usually do it about now. That's how bad we usually are. Which I mean, going forward, I want to try to make it a little bit more standard to do it right there in the beginning. So it's just like makes sense. This is the way I see it. We're probably going to be doing this podcast for quite a while, unless like something happens. The only two things that would ever happen in that case would be if one of our internets gets shut down for the longest time, and then that would be kind of one way to do it. The other way would be as if
The world decides to like stop doing nerdy stuff.
that, and then the third bit was if there was like some like crazy bad blood between us or something, which never really happens. I mean, sure, all friends have their spats, but we don't really get that crazy.
But I think that's the thing with us. I don't think we will ever really have that kind of bad way unless it's over something that's so bad. But it's also because I think we keep most of those stuff that makes people have bad blood out of our lives from each other.
Yeah.
Our biggest dispute is what games are good.
Right. I mean, granted, a lot of the games that me and you were like polar opposites most of the time. There are some that actually aren't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you like Halo, I like good games. You know how it is.
I mean, I already agree with you that, some Sony stories are better.
Yeah, but we have also come to that I feel like that's have been a lot of the difference between Microsoft and Sony is that the Microsoft exclusives always been like there have been a lot of multiplayers and not as focused on the game storyline. Well, PlayStation
like
had done. Wow, you lagged.
Well, green though.
Yeah, but is Skype having issues?
When a way to avoid issues on Skype, right?
Oh my god, your sounds terrible.
I sound fine. I think it's you.
Let's do. If we do this, I'm gonna recall you.
Oh boy. Let me mute. Yeah, just in case like your the Skype thing like call noise came on, I just made sure to mute.
Yeah. Did you have time to mute?
It worked.
Okay. The moment you don't sound laggy. I mean, do you have your VPN on?
I think I turned it off earlier. Yeah, it's off.
Oh. I was thinking it was that. But yeah, basically, as we said, like Sony focus more on story-based games than Microsoft does.
Right.
You also said that you wanted me to get into the Gears series, right?
Uh-huh.
You said it was it the two first I had to play alone or the first one?
Wait, what?
You said one of them wasn't co-op, or some of them wasn't co-op.
No, they're all co-op.
Ah, I thought you said that.
All of the Gears games are co-op, so that's no issue.
I thought you said the first one wasn't.
No, that's good. So, considering you just had to step out or like recall, I have to put my dog outside of my room because she's starting to cry.
Poor dog.
Dogs.
But do I really know dogs?
She'll be back after like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. Crying at the gate again. Like, let me in. So go dog.
My hand is frozen.
Get it away from the air.
I don't even know what it's frozen. It could be because I had my Mountain Dew with it earlier.
There's always that too, especially if it was pretty cold.
I don't know, it's not even cold in my room. That's the issue. Okay, it's working now. A normal day at the nerd ensemble.
Oh, for sure. Just like a bunch of random awkward silences and random stuff. It's just like it's basically the small talk of like it's some random friend you haven't talked to in like a few years, and you're just like doing random bits of small talk, or just like you met a random family member. They're trying to ask a bunch of stuff. It's like, yeah.
I don't talk with my family, so that would be an issue.
I mean, I don't really talk with them either, but it happens.
You know, accidents happens.
Right. So, as a way to actually begin anything, first of all, what in the hell is going on with the music?
I don't know. What is going on with the music? Tell me a story about what is happening with your music. And for people wondering, I have not slept properly for the last like 3 days. So I'm a little bit.
Like, stop monitoring it apparently. Anyway. So okay. Forget the story of the music. No one cares about that. So yeah. We'll go ahead and I'll leave something a little bit for later, but you want to just go ahead and get into the trash talks?
Which part? The one when I talked about a certain kids show or the YouTube's trash talk? Because we have both of them to do.
Oh, I was going to say, wait, what kid show? What's up? Like, oh, right. You want to okay.
Because we know, both of them can go for a while because it's. I'm just gonna say this: most kid shows back in the day has issues, especially these kid shows we're gonna talk about, and that type of kid show.
Yeah, the type of kid show where it's just like yell at the screen as if the kid's gonna answer back. So I guess we'll go and segue into that, considering we're already talking about it. But yeah, everybody's favorite kid show, where it would always try to teach you Spanish, even though it failed miserably.
And maybe English, but if you lived in Sweden. We were taught English here.
That is messed up. The whole idea is to be taught Spanish in the show.
Yeah, but then you have the dubbed or the dubbed versions. That's kind of interesting though, if you think about it. Like, if they dub it in Russia, what other language do they gonna teach them? Because I don't think they're gonna teach them English.
I feel like in most foreign countries it would mainly be English, because at the same time it's like the point of the show is for the kid to learn something other than what they already know. So they would assume you already know whatever your native language is. So basically, I guess for most people it would just be like, oh hey, the show will teach you English.
Yeah. And then you have like, oh, that would be interesting in UK though, because they don't really have Spanish as an important language.
Like, probably French.
Yeah, French I feel like, because England and same with that's also a thing. Think about this: Australia and England doesn't really need Spanish.
Let's see. So anyway, for people who just wondering what in the hell we're talking about, it's Dora the Explorer. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna check this. UK dub. What do they teach? Oh, it's a lost UK dub. So apparently it's not very known. Huh. What do we got here then? I don't care about that. I'm caring what do they teach. So I was actually very curious when you said, I'm like, what do they teach? They still do Spanish?
I mean, if we feel like it, unless they teach Gaelic, that would be a thing because Scotland and Ireland.
It's not saying. It just said who was in the dub. It's not saying anything about it being. What do you know? So I was looking, scrolling down, and on Reddit it literally says in Swedish, Dora the Explorer, she teaches English.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. Somebody was at. Oh, well, what? Okay. English. Okay, so basically just everyone saying English, and in America it's Spanish. So that's something.
Mm-hmm.
And in the UK, apparently, obviously they had their lost dub, but they just used the American version. So literally the American version using a lot of stuff that they say, or I should say we say, considering I'm American, but it's a tragedy. Regardless, yeah, it just they using a lot of that in UK. It's like that's not the best of ideas.
Yeah, it
Imagine
seems
trying to
like most
trying to say
countries.
like this many degrees, or it's like, hey, it's 10 feet away, and everyone in the UK is just like, the fuck are they talking about? Granted, I'm pretty sure that they were also taught for like a very split second imperial system, but after that it's like, nope, back to our usual.
In Ireland, they teach Spanish.
Let's see. Okay, so apparently all non-English versions teach English, except Gaelic, which teaches Spanish, Serbian Spanish, Kannada, whatever that is, Hindi, and Turkish is both English and Spanish. That'd be confusing. Do they have two different versions of the same show? Huh. Okay. That was weird.
So
Well,
basically,
anyway, yeah.
unless oh yeah, the Spanish version. Hmm.
Yeah, the Spanish version's one that I would obviously be going on about. Granted, I don't know if they do much else different there. But when it comes down to it, yeah, the reason why we're doing this as a topic, the only real reason is just because of how stupid we think of a lot of these shows. It's just like, why would they exist and why do they do these stupid things?
Oh god, I forgot they made a live action adaptation.
Oh, yeah, they made a movie.
I forgot about that.
I'll be honest, I actually would not mind seeing just to make fun of it. Just for that very reason. I just want to see it to find jokes in it. Which, granted, I will admit, in the trailer, it actually had the whole thing. It's just like Dora pulls out a knife, and the teacher's like, "Oh, and would you look at that, everybody? Dora had brought a knife." Just like, okay, this is getting weird fast.
I want to say something, but it wouldn't sound good.
I mean, it's basically with it being the topic of Dora, you would think, oh, hey, it's
a kid show.
It's like a kids movie in this sense. But it seems like they're throwing in a bunch of like other stuff, which makes it more.
I can watch Dora on Amazon Prime.
Good for you. Jesus. Yeah, so anyway, the thing we wanted to talk about mainly was some random stupid stuff. I forgot what you were gonna mention, but I wanted to mention one of her random enemies that she has. Probably the main one, considering it's in like every single episode. So that's a thing.
Oh, she has more enemies than Swiper?
I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, basically with Swiper, yeah, there's something about that guy, which you probably don't notice.
Yeah.
The fact that he basically wants everything that she has, every single like random item that she gets on the journey, or just like something. She always wants it, or like he always wants that from her, and it's just like, okay, why is it a simple phrase stops him?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like bothering me
like,
so goddamn
it looks
much.
like he's just like an insane thief, because I'm pretty sure they've had it where it's just like he will break down her boat or will do random other stuff that could put her into like quite a bit of danger in this sense. But it's just like all she has to say is like, "Hey, swiper, no swiping." It's just like, okay, I guess I am not able to do this anymore.
And no, she has to say it 3 times.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like to say that, and then of course his catchphrase are just yeah, just like nope.
Like, yeah, I'm giving up. Like the worst thief I have ever seen.
Like, I don't understand. How is that a thing? That makes no damn sense.
I mean, think about this. If kids think about, if they get stuck in that mentality as a kid from the kidhood, and then someone tries to rob them, and they're like, no swiping. Like, no, that's not, no. It's gonna rob you anyways. Or you stare at it and think you're an idiot.
Oh.
Maybe that works. Maybe no one has actually. Maybe it's actually working if you think about it. Because who actually bothers to yell at the guy who's robbing you and telling him 3 times that he shouldn't do it?
I think it's just the fact of like having to tell anyone that, just like, oh hey, this person like breaks and enters in your house and just like starts stealing things. You catch them in the act, and you just basically say, hey, stop stealing. I said stop. Like, hey, I told you stop stealing. Stop fucking stealing. And just like, oh, sorry. Let me put all this back. It's like please. It's like okay.
I mean, a shotgun also works, but that's a different story.
Well, I'm pretty sure, honestly, no one's carrying a shotgun in their house, and if they are,
Well, in the United States, wouldn't be surprised.
you're not wrong. Stupid. Like that. Okay, we're not going to get into the topic of having like guns in the household and everything, but I'll just quickly say that you don't need anything if you're going to have a registered weapon. Just get a pistol. You don't need anything more. You really don't. If you're be like, oh, I need to protect myself, get a damn pistol.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's
see.
enough.
I mean, you don't need anything else. I don't care about your stupid whatever it was, AK-15. What was it? The freaking
AR-15.
AR-15. I don't know what's a K. Yeah, AR-15, and obviously all that kind of stuff. Just like you don't need the damn shit. All right, it's one thing if you're like using it for hunting, and
I don't think you need a fucking assault rifle for that either.
Don't think you do either. Unless you're hunting bears, in which case, oh, which I'm pretty sure doing that's illegal anyway.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, unless you're a hunter, you don't need a gun more than a pistol.
I mean,
to be honest.
you don't need a rifle unless you're hunting, and even so, you still need a hunting license. And most of the time, you're not really allowed to hunt things unless it's in season. I mean,
Yeah.
some things are like all season. I'm pretty sure deer is just like whenever, if you're just like doing that. But
yeah, I think it's like, but it's because it's like one of those animals there's a lot of, and they'll know like.
Funny how we have a rabbit season, but if you think about it, rabbits actually reproduce a lot. So it's just like you don't really have to worry about them going extinct.
Unless you somehow find a way to poison the whole fucking thing.
Right. Still. But yeah. So back to the whole door thing. What was your thing you were going to talk about with it?
I mean, we have a map that's talking, that stings.
Yeah. Well, they all sing.
Yeah,
but
can we just put that to stupid shit? Like, it's like, oh, where do I need to go? Like,
honestly, the only thing I love when it comes down to it is that clip from Drake and Josh. It's just like Crazy Steve like yelling at the TV, Adora just saying shit. Like that is Lily's favorite. It's just like, what are you talking about, Dora? It's right behind you. Just like, oh my god. That's like the one example where you'll only find him ever doing that. No other kid will even care. Like, just watch it like, this girl's dumb.
Yeah, like, she has a map, the picture shows how it looks like. It's just like, oh, by the way, where do I need to go? Yep, you have a map.
You have a map. And then when it's just like you have all these random items, like you also have a backpack you can put it in. There's one other thing. Well, you have this random guy following you who always seems to it basically always tries to follow you to steal your stuff, and you can easily tell him to go away. Why don't you also ask the guy for some directions? I'm sure he would know. Be smart. And while you're at it, stop freaking traveling with the monkey. Jeez.
What do you mean? Boots is so nice.
Is he? Is he really?
I mean, I don't know.
Also, it's pretty bad that now my search history it's Dora the Explorer stuff. It's like, well, it's a good thing no one really looks. And because my VPN off, my ISP definitely saw that one, just like,
And they're like,
okay, must be looking for some kids. Like, no, it's totally for that. Unless you're listening into this broadcast because you're like, oh hey, sending out this video feed. It's like let us listen in.
we are bullying kids instead.
Yeah, and just like listen, like, okay.
I mean,
just pops up in chat, just like, yeah, we're definitely listening in, man. Like, what the hell?
I mean, that's the
Somebody's
issue.
at their desk, like, supposed to be monitoring all different connections, just focus on this one to listen. Some random internet provider user. How you doing?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Imagine if that's how that happened. There's like, they decided to look at that, just like, oh hey, streaming, like, throughout his thing. I'll just see what this is about. Ended up just sitting there for the whole night. That'd be kind of funny. Very doubtful. Not because it just wouldn't happen at work. It just wouldn't happen to me. No one would want to stick by with that. They watch for a few seconds and just be like, nah, whatever. Gone.
Or they would be like, what the fuck is this?
Both. Just both.
They're like, what the fuck is this? I'm going back to check on other stuff.
Yeah. Completely missing that one guy sending some not so great TV photos. That's probably every guy on the internet these days.
What are you talking about? I would never send bad photos anywhere. Cough. Cough, cough. Cough!
I mean, none of that nature, but probably some pretty cancerous ones. That's not wrong.
I mean, I'm pretty safe, okay? I'm a nice, innocent kitty cat.
Mm-hmm. More like that pretty old hairless cat that sits in the corner and just like being very grouchy, hissing all the damn time, like, get the hell away from me.
Hey, you know a cat is evil. So why do you expect a cat to be... So they are technically always innocent because you know they're evil.
Most cats are evil.
Is my computer having issues or is Skype having issues?
Oh, what?
You're breaking again.
I shouldn't be.
No, I know.
I mean, here, I didn't need to, but I disabled the preview. I didn't want to, because I actually like the idea of seeing everything, but, well.
It works now. Oh, don't tell me it was to preview them.
That was the issue, that's so stupid. Because I don't see any issues I'm looking at.
Like,
no
you
drop
worked
rate.
fine until
My
randomly...
It's been like at 0.5 to 0.7 this entire time. So, very low CPU, perfectly fine. I'm in the green. No issues. I swear, if I was like having that robotic bit on stream, that would suck more.
Well, you have it on my side, so that's an issue. Yeah, it's on my side, your robotic part.
Yeah, well, I'm saying if I'm that way on my side, that's what I was saying. I doubt it, but you never know. So yeah, when it comes down to it, a lot of kids shows I just don't understand, especially these days. I mean, it's like, at least back in the day, they tried to teach you something. That was their goal, was to try to teach you something. Now it's like, what are you gonna do? You know?
I have watched a few kid shows that's now, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, some days, these days, most of the newer ones aren't too bad. But then you have some stupid shit like freaking whatever it's called, uh, Peppa Pig and all that other crap. Like, what the hell is this stupid
Okay,
show?
Peppa Pig has been stupid since the start, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it never was good. It's terrible. Quite a piece of trash. Press. I don't know.
I mean, I've said this many times. Many times. I don't know if I said it on stream though, but I've said it many times. You know, like kids shows these days is too nice.
You might remember that.
Like everything is so friendly and nothing is bad. Like when I grew up, there was like kids shows that was like really dark. Like it was like they were not like always happy, but they were like we're not too bad. They were good.
Yeah.
I mean, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's not really a really happy story if you think about the whole thing, but it was more of a. But they made it so it was a kid-friendly show. But if the ground of it isn't kid-friendly.
Did we ever talk about that in the last episode?
No, because we were gonna do a review on your reaction channel, which we have not done either.
I mean, we'll work on it. Don't worry. We are gonna do it. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, we are going to do that. It's just for now, not the moment.
Yeah, which is going up on his other channel.
Yeah. Also, I'm not really sure how audio is stacking up right now.
Or do I?
Not very sure. But it seems like whenever you talk, it's louder than me. But well, what can you do?
Turn me down. Oh wait, you can't. I'm still loud.
Yeah, don't worry. I could put you down to freaking 0%, and you're still audible.
And it's like, how? There's nothing to be.
There's nothing there. Tell that to freaking audio in on my computer. Freaking thing is set to 0, and it's like, no, you're still getting something there, buddy. You know, I was trying to find my wireless earphones so I could like check the audio, but don't think that's gonna happen. Actually, I don't think it matters. I have freaking I actually have the computer audio shut off.
Good job.
So, well, that's actually a good thing to have. So honestly, I don't even think it's gonna get picked up in the first place.
Huh.
I will have to check that. I actually don't know. Let me quickly check. Oh no, it's good. I need to 160. There we go. Turn it down to like the worst video setting.
Why did you do bad video setting?
So it won't lag.
The stream seems laggy. Or is that me?
Could be both. I mean, I had it open. I just closed it. So, it's whatever.
Huh.
I was gonna mention something else before I moved on. Don't remember.
Something about kid shows.
Well, yeah, I was mentioning that kid show's pretty much terrible. I mean, again, it's just like it seems like I have my freaking throat at the moment. It basically seems like all the newer shows, like I mean, again, usually these days not too bad, but a few years ago, it's just like, what were they doing? They're just like putting out this random nonsense BS that's just like, why would you want a kid even watching these? They do nothing for you.
Yeah, but also remember, parents doesn't do anything for the kids either, so you know.
Yeah, but I mean, that they at least have something to go for. Oh, come on now.
And then people wonder why people these days are fucking social, have social anxiety.
I wouldn't really say that's the issue.
I mean, I would say it's the parents' fault because they don't teach the kids to be social, and because they rather give them.
You don't really teach someone to be social. It's just a way you are. Like, you don't really need to teach someone to be social.
Yeah, but you have to teach. But you also have to understand that sometimes you can't. Or if you close someone off, they become kind of a loner. I was never.
Okay, yeah, but that's not my point. I'm not saying that's not teaching at all. That's just basically how their environment is. If they're more in a closed environment to where it's just like,
Yeah, but
they don't go out that often or whatever else, sure, that could make them more the loner. And then you have someone who just like they'll let them out all the dang time, they'll probably be a lot more social.
yeah, but that's the issue. It's like, but that's because we barely fucking have schools. That's also daycares and stuff like that. I feel like that start is gonna disappear soon.
Depends.
Because parents doesn't really, because yes, parents gonna work and stuff, and they need to put their child anyway. But in the end, the child is gonna be like, but I want my iPad. Like, no, you don't need your goddamn iPad. You're free.
I mean, that's that part's on parents in general. That's nothing when it comes to like daycares and all that. I mean, granted, not a lot of kids will be like all over it. Yeah, some are, but you could still have them be like pretty active with everything else. I know plenty of kids who are just like, still plenty active, but yeah, of course they have a little bit of tech issues. I mean, granted, I'm not setting the best of examples when it comes to considering a lot of the times I just hand my little sister a phone just to because she's just like wants to grab everything. That's the thing. She grabs everything to mess with. Like I'd rather not grab everything off my desk. I just hand her my phone and she'll sit there for a few seconds, or she'll like put it up to her ear and just randomly say whatever gibberish that a baby says.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a difference. Like letting them play with stuff and then putting them in front of a screen all the time. That's
Mm.
such a diff. Because if you do that, that's the issue. Is that kids these days has that parents does that. They are like, oh, here, have this and watch this. Like, but should you watch the kid?
Which is it's not even that. I mean, the
Oh my god, you're
like
lagging again.
house. This is all on you, man. This has nothing to do.
I've turned off everything. So
It's buddy. Garable. My two. Come on now. Uh, so I don't know about your play, but only mine. They were all old, like younger, just go outside. Like they would just be like outside to go 4 hours. Like we weren't into that. It was just like go outside, go play, do whatever. Like that their deal. And then with us, it's just like devices. I'm 90% outside. That's why there.
what is going on? Where's my? I don't even draw them into red, so I don't know what's going on.
Stupid stuff in your end, I guess. Who would know? Yeah, but I was gonna say, the hell is all right.
I don't know what were you talking about? Something you
Well,
mentioned.
I know what I was talking about. It's just the point that yeah, thanks, Cricket. But see, I didn't even need to find a cricket sound effect. Maybe I should have one of those, but still, it's just like don't even need it because there we go. We have actual live crickets saying how.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got a Discord message, okay?
Yeah, see, that's how it works with almost everything. It's like he gets a message of something. It's like, oh wait, this takes my immediate priority. It's like I have to check these messages. Like, yeah, I make it a priority to not. I mute everything. I turn off everything. I just throw it to the side. I don't care what the hell you're gonna message me. If it's something extremely important, I'm not gonna answer you doing this.
The house is on fire. You're like, yeah. I'm just gonna finish it.
Well, that's different. I can obviously tell if my house is on fire. It's only 3 rooms. 4, actually. It's my room, the bathroom, the entire living room and kitchen because it's connected, and the other bedroom. That's it. So yeah, I can definitely tell if the house is on fire, especially because there's smoke detectors right next to where fires would start. Except for in here, no smoke detectors in this room, but it would make it.
Huh.
Yeah.
But there's also a difference between you and me. I can multitask when I'm streaming.
Well, that's not really multitask. That's being distracted. That's a
No.
distraction more than a multitask.
Well, you normally talking, so I'm just listening. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. When it comes to just like solely listening, that's not very good when it comes to a podcast because
Yeah,
everyone
but
in there
if I don't
will be
have
talking
anything to say, what should I
almost all
say?
the time.
Should I just
I don't know.
become a cricket?
Well, clearly that one outside the window, wherever the hell wants you to be, because it's not enjoying this. I'm pretty sure it's noticing your silence, and it's just like, yep, just gonna make some noise.
Well, we
Yeah,
can blame my friend of texting me. One we both know.
I'll say that. Wait, yeah, I'm sure it is. But regardless,
And you know who it is?
possibly. I have ideas.
I I did. That sounds more lewd than it meant to.
How does that sound lewd? I was just saying I have ideas as to who it could be.
Yeah, enlighten us, my dear sir. Why am I?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say their name on a random podcast. That's not exactly how that
Uh,
works. See,
but say the first letter.
That doesn't help. We have many friends with the same first letter. Then I'd have to spell it out and it'd be immediately known.
I don't have that many friends with this letter, I think.
We have 2 that I can think of right now.
Nope, I don't have anyone in SFC that is two with the same letter.
Seriously.
Remember, I don't use real name.
I'm saying like 2 people with C in a way. If you were thinking of in a lot of ways. Yeah, because one doesn't use the actual first bit of their name. They always use the other part. So that'd be C.
Yeah, we have 2 with C, 1 with A, because I don't refer to her as her username, because her old name was just Blame. That was... She also have a Twitch channel.
We'll get to that at other points. So yeah, what I was going to say though is that honestly, if you're here thinking like when it comes to like, oh hey, a podcast is like, this isn't your typical podcast. I should have mentioned that beforehand. It's not really a typical podcast. It's more so just 2 people streaming and just like saying random stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't even stream podcasts. I know it's a thing on Twitch, but it's like, I feel like people don't really stream as a podcast really that much. It's more so they just make a recording of it. Like they record it, edit it together in a good way, and then just be done with it. Send it out. That is their podcast. Like that's what most people do. Most of the more professional ones. And it's not, I'm not saying that is what changed this. Obviously we're not professional, but that's not to say that that's why.
I mean, wouldn't this mean be closer to a talk show then?
I mean, not really. I mean, they're both. It's both the same. I guess that in this case, yeah, this would possibly be closer to a talk show.
Because I mean,
Just like
what
talking.
is classified as a podcast? Isn't that just? Is it
It's
talk show
basically
with
just a bunch
podcast?
of people talking.
Yeah,
That's all
isn't that?
podcast is.
Isn't that what a talk show is too?
I don't. Here, you know what? Let's get the official definition in on this. Let's go nuts. All right.
We have to have answers.
Show versus podcast. That's not via. I said versus. Stupid thing. Talk show versus podcast. Live radio, but that's not the same thing. Not radio show. Oh my fucking god. I know the difference between radio and a podcast. I said a talk show.
What is? Oh well, it depends on the radio show, but
Let's see. Well, I mean, with a radio show, it's more just people on the radio just talking. That's basically the difference between a podcast and a talk show. It's just talking on a radio. That's it.
so basically it's the same goddamn thing.
Talk show format. Generally, subgenre predominates. No, that's not a thing.
Today on Nerd Ensemble, we're trying to solve the issue with what is a talk show.
Yeah, that's a lot of random deals. It's whatever. I mean, there's plenty of talk shows you can think of. You know,
A talk show or chat show is a television program or radio program genre structured around the act of spontaneous conversation.
I mean, technically, that's the same thing with podcast. That's the thing. I thought the only difference is a podcast is just, I don't know why I close that. But a podcast is basically just, you're talking.
A digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or mobile device, typically available as a series, new installments of which can be received by subscribers automatically.
There's that, or just like the streaming wise. But that's basically it.
So basically what we're doing is a talk show.
Like, you know, you stream it from a podcast service like Apple or Spotify, Castbox, like we use.
Oh,
stuff.
The word comes from iPod and broadcast.
Yeah, it figures. I'm pretty sure because Apple was the first real one to do podcasts. Like, not necessarily, but I mean, like, they were the first one to go for that. I don't know. I mean, there was still plenty of it beforehand because we always had RSS feeds. Like, that's mainly what it was for. It's like you subscribe to the feed and you'll always get notified with a new episode, and there you go.
So what we're doing technically is more of a talk show because it's live.
Well, no, I mean you could still have live shows. You can still have the live ones. It just
also, wait, what is the purpose of a podcast? A podcast is a record of audio discussion on a specific topic.
No, I mean we
I feel like we are. Well, we have already failed the first.
I mean, again, not everybody has specific topics. I'll admit I would actually like to start ones with it, like just randomly, or just like have certain things. Just I don't really know what topics we would do, or I would do. Like either way, I just don't really have anything for that. Plenty I've already taken, and none of which I would be wanting to do. Like nothing that would be like, oh hey, this would be great to do. It's just like, nah, not really. None for me.
What were you talking about again? I was basically reading about podcasts.
How about you don't? See, this is what I'm saying. He's saying that, oh, he can multitask, like, and
yeah, but I got focused on like searching a podcast.
It doesn't matter. It's still a podcast. You don't need to go down to specifics.
This is why I prefer the goddess Athena.
Don't know what that has to do with anything.
Wisdom.
Okay, that still has nothing to do with this.
That's why I search stuff up. I want to learn stuff, like, and become wiser.
I wouldn't really say that searching things up makes you wiser, because I'm pretty sure you have very dumb search history entries. Possibly.
Hey, just because I want to know what different languages you learn in Dora doesn't make me stupid.
There's plenty of stupid things.
Hey.
Pick one of them.
You know what? I'm gonna. Lucky I use incognito mode, but let's see history. Dora video podcast meaning talk show, British Dora the Explorer, Discover Game, subscriptions, YouTube. Yeah, I don't search that much.
Just like, see, hold on. Where did you see it? Oh, is this how you do it?
Yeah,
I'm
no.
going to like a website where I can like see all my history, like see if I can just name off like my search history, to see if I can just name off a bunch of crap.
Well, mostly mine is Discord, YouTube, Twitch. Oh my, oh yeah, yeah,
I'm going
Twitch.
mainly to the Google searches rather than just my website history. If it would load, taking its time.
Where do you find search history though?
Oh my god, why?
Are you having an issue?
The back button just like decided to close. It's crashing. That's the problem. My browser is crashing.
Sounds like otherwise.
It's did it again. I can't get past the screen. Trying to look it up, for God's sake.
It doesn't want you to look at your own.
View the search history, sure. How do I view it?
With your eyes?
No,
That's
not
not
YouTube.
No, you don't.
This is for YouTube. I don't want to look at my YouTube history. There's not much there.
I rarely search anything on YouTube. Well, actually, let me check my YouTube search history. What is the latest stuff I've searched on YouTube? Sweden by Gaming, Nexus 71C, Sweden by Gaming Assassin's Creed, Dinosaur King.
Yeah, heading. You know, here, actually, I'll head to that on a different browser. Maybe that'll help. As long as it has my account, it's fine.
Do you want to know what my 5th search is on YouTube?
What?
Belle Delphine.
Why?
You know,
Oh my god.
you know, having Belle Delphine in your searches, I feel like something is wrong with me.
Okay. Not today.
I also have an R. I have searched R, apparently.
Let's see. Yeah, apparently it's just showing a lot of other stuff. I'm not trying to see that.
What's life otherwise?
Honestly, it's not very. There's nothing fun. There's like nothing fun on here. It's all like random. You just like show up a random thing.
Yeah, the best thing I have is Belle Delphine. The most. I think I searched up her newest song she made. Make fun. 69. Rap artist.
Okay.
So you know.
Random.
I have weird stuff. You're random.
No, I just wish it would just like pop up a random result, not just like last few days. The last few days I've actually gotten nothing. Hmm. Okay, good thing that's muted. Whatever. So other than search histories, that there's honestly nothing funny to bring up, which ain't fun, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would have more interest in search history if it wasn't I didn't go incognito mode.
I don't really see the point. It does nothing.
Well,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
and no one looks at my history. It's not like someone's gonna get on my computer or get on my phone.
Yeah,
like,
but my mom may look at the search history in her network. That's the issue.
Well, even in incognito mode, it doesn't do that. It won't take away from your network. Like, she can still see it through the network if you're in incognito.
True. I mean,
that's kind of the point of a VPN to begin with.
the next time I need to go visit a website and turn VPN on and go incognito mode. No one can ever find me.
Because then it's not in your history, and then it's not being broadcasted anywhere. But there's other ways to do it.
Yeah, go watch
But
My Little Pony.
I'm pretty sure they won't know how to do that. So.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah,
While we're
I
on
guess
the
we'll go
topic of
to other
YouTube,
trash-
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. We'll go on to a nice little segment there, I guess. Little segue. Not really. It's a terrible segue. But we'll go on to another bit of trashing. YouTube.
Our
What's up,
dear
YouTube?
friend.
Yeah, last time we talked about how they took away the entire old live stream deal, so they're not using their new live studio, which I figured out how to use in Restream. I couldn't use the same one I was using before. You have to use something called YouTube events. You just like schedule an event, tell Restream to use that event, and then you stream that way. I could go back to doing that, but I don't really know if I want to. Part of me does, because honestly, a lot of people did watch through YouTube, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But other than that, so recently there was a whole YouTube issue with I don't know the video. It's like some setup. It was like a whatever it was. It was basically like the video was completely fake. Obviously, it wasn't anything real. It was just like people in like a SpongeBob costume and a bunch of other costumes and everything. Like I think robbing people in vehicles or something. It was just like a fake video. It was something. I don't remember what it was about. I honestly don't know because I'd never seen it. But I just know that somebody, again, I don't know their name, but basically somebody got a copyright strike for it, and a bunch of other people did too. Or not copyright strike, community guideline strike.
Yeah, which both
CG
is
strike.
bad.
They got plenty of CG strikes. Saying like, oh hey, this is pretty bad because it shows off violence and everything. And then they try to get an appeal, and YouTube is just like, no, that's accurate. And they just didn't. It's like, no, that's accurate. No issue here. And they still have their strike. And then, of course, that person points out that Markiplier had the same video. It's like, hey, he also reacted to the video. Why isn't he getting a strike? Even he himself replies like, yeah, where's my strike? A day later, there's a strike. He shouldn't have said anything. Regardless, yeah, he got his strike for it. And then I'm pretty sure he did the same thing where he tried to appeal, and they still said no, it was fine. And then they bring up, hey, why would you get strike for this? It's kind of stupid. And then they're like, oh wait, we just struck Markiplier. Shit. And just nope, taking all this away. Like, YouTube and favoritism. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and the issues they have done that for a long time. It's not like it's new. It's like they do that.
Yeah, they do that for basically everyone. I mean, even Twitch does that. I mean, look at freaking whatever her name is. What's her name? Starts with an A. That one streamer that threw a cat.
Alinity.
Yeah, there's one which I don't remember if they've actually done anything to her these days. Probably not.
Yeah, and then you have other streamers that's so fuck. Oh my god, the issues with both. This is both Twitch and YouTube. It's like the moment it's a big streamer or YouTuber that makes the money, and this is PewDiePie. PewDiePie is excluded from this. Right. It's like, yeah, oh, you did something wrong. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's kind of messed up that the person who does have, actually, I don't think anymore. I'm pretty sure, whatever they are, they got back up again. But pretty sure with someone who basically has, we'll say, okay, fine, a YouTuber, because the other one's just a brand, but like a YouTuber that has the most subscribers on YouTube, it's just like, nah, we're gonna hate on them. Just pull the rug right underneath.
Yeah. It was the issue though. What was it? It was like, though that was a thing that when Twitch finally banned disrespect, and no one knows. I don't know if they have revealed why, but they finally banned him.
I don't know if he did. I don't remember if he revealed anything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously now he streams on YouTube.
Yeah, but that was like the thing that he was one of the biggest creators on Twitch. Like, I think if he wasn't the biggest, he was one of the biggest. So, and that's like, if Twitch can do that, YouTube should do the same. Because, you know.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, go back up. It just went down to 74 kilobits per second.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I can say that. Your stream is lagging. So it's maybe your side that is having issues.
I don't think it was, but it was raising back up. It's getting up there.
Yeah.
Close that.
So that's the thing. Like, YouTube should follow that example. Like, if Twitch could take out one of the biggest streamers on their site, YouTube should have done the same. Like with Logan, what was it, 3 years ago? I think. Is it 3 or 2 years ago?
I really should have recorded this episode. Thanks, man.
Yeah, with that shit, people said he should be banned, but no. Nothing happened to him. And that's like the issue. It's like, he earns them enough money for them to be like, oh, he didn't do anything wrong. So yeah. Gotta love YouTube and Twitch. But the issue with Twitch though, the biggest streamers on there that earns money, that earns the most money, I would say, happens to be female streamers. Sadly.
I mean, that really depends on them.
Yeah, not all, but like, if they are beautiful and they know how to play the game, they can earn how much they basically want if they play the game right. That's the issue. And that is what basically Alinity did. It's just played the game correct from start. Oh, and then she throws a cap at,
I wouldn't really,
you know.
I mean, I wouldn't really say that they should play the game correctly.
No, but
there isn't really a game to play anyway when it comes down to it. It's basically just.
Oh no! If you know how to, if you figure out the algorithm, you can defeat what many people do. For us who struggles, I promise you, if I would know how to figure out how to play, like follow the rules of how to get big fast, I would know.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, that's the other thing. A lot of these rules are things that just like destroy what you are as a creator, because most of the time it just makes you even worse.
Yeah, and that's that's why I can't do that.
Like worse as a person. I mean, like worse as a creator, because that sense is like the real way to do it is to find the trendsetters, find the things that people want you to play, like things that, say for example, a lot of the streams I do, I barely get any views. I streamed Mario Maker 2, I got freaking a ton of views, like more so than usual. I got like 100 or so, like 120 in that night. Makes you think, well, hell, I should probably be playing this. I haven't streamed that game since. It's not to like set a trend. It's more so that I just haven't really felt the need to play it. But again, if I did, I would probably continuously get more views on the game, and at some random point, I don't know. I would not want to become a Mario Maker 2 creator.
Yeah, and that's also a thing. If it
was a very fun game that I would always enjoy and I could do very good at, then probably sure, I wouldn't mind it. But it's more so I'm a variety streamer. I don't try to stick to one game.
Yeah. That's also a thing about that's a thing. Most platform, that goes for YouTube also, hates variety streamer or creators because it's not. in the sense, because if you switch too much, unless you're a big one that is having like said along that knows what you're doing, and you have like, I know a few YouTubers that is streaming and they have already a follow, so they know what they're getting. But when it comes to like smaller variety streamers, they have tougher because they may get a viewer for, say, Super Mario Maker, but he may not come back for, say, Minecraft or whatever else you're playing. Because he's more interested in that, maybe that game. He's not interested too much in the streamer. And that's what basically the rules comes in, where you can give to become a good or a known streamer, is to break or go into the rule part where you like figure out how to play the game that you need to get big. And that's an issue. That destroys you as a person and a streamer.
Well, again, not really much of it as a person. The only real thing that does that is ego. And plenty of people have that as an issue. But when it comes to the creator, I mean, yeah.
I know what destroys you as a person. Monopoly.
That's why we will never play it. Another thing that destroy, and also something that destroys a lot of your friendships. Keep talking up, it explodes. Don't play.
Especially when there's two idiots trying to solve the issue.
Yeah, maybe it'll work if you and a friend are actually smart. Or not.
So so you're the dumb one because I can play this game perfectly with my other friend.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm dumb. I'm just stubborn. There's a difference. Not much one. It's a very thin line, but it's there. Oh boy. But yeah, as for YouTube, the thing we're mainly trashing, got super off topic on that one somewhat.
I mean, we started trashing everything about big streamers that often get a more favorable, big creators.
But I don't know. I mean, sure, another thing when it comes down to it is that it would be nice to have that sort of thing, like having quite a bit, or being like a bigger channel and everything. But at the same time, it's just like I'm kind of comfy with the idea of now. I mean, granted, I barely get literally anybody around. I mean, I would be happy if I just got like 5, 10 viewers, just like that amount to say there's some people there, or if it's just like 3 people, just some people in there just to talk with. That's the main thing I would want. I don't need like a freaking wall of text in my chat.
I have been getting a lot of views on my Nexus streams.
Well, again, when you commit to something, more people are probably going to watch because it's like a main thing to go for.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Normally I'm a variety streamer, so I prefer to not get stuck on one game. But when it comes to a game I find good, I kind of get stuck on.
The bane of being a variety streamer is just like there's a lot of issues in that too. I mean, look at me for example. I'm too like varied. Like it's just like I keep throwing random stuff in there and I keep like stopping the other things. And some things just get put on the back burner for a while. The only major reason why a lot of the PS4 games like Last of Us Part 2, the only reason why it hasn't been played anymore is mainly that I just don't want to be on the PS4. For a few reasons. One, I don't want to have to use my current capture card because I have to like set all these delays and everything up and it just gets really annoying. And then having to deal with before it wasn't an issue, but now seeing it is just like all the issues in comparison. It's just like no, not a fan. And plus my freaking version of Last of Us Part 2 is broken. Everyone else is getting good stuff. Like everyone else doesn't have my issue.
Are you still T-posing?
Yes. I started another save so I could check out the game in HDR since I now have a monitor for it. And one thing looks great, but another thing, it's still doing the T-posing at the exact same spots too. Like every spot where it did it in my streamed playthrough.
You got the prototype disc.
Right? right? Why did you get a disc to download? It just sent me the wrong one. And the
They were
game's
like,
been updated, I believe. And if it hasn't, then freaking update it for me. Come on, Naughty Dog. Help me out. I would say the issue is because I'm using an original PS4, but I've seen
so do I?
playthroughs and people. Yeah, that's the thing. I've seen playthroughs and other people just using the original. It's like, no issues. It's like,
Did you
okay,
watch?
that's not my issue.
Yeah, so if you have watched anything from mine, you can see I'm not having issues.
You just keep. I mean, it's not that it's bad. Like, it's not like game breaking. It's honestly funny, but
It's just
it
stupid.
takes out of the immersion. It takes out of the immersion of the game and the story. It's just like you just have this like super serious scene again. I mentioned this. This is a spoiler. Actually, not really gonna spoiler, but we'll just say of like with Joel being on the ground in one scene, and it's just like it'd be funny as hell if he was just like standing up the next second. Just
Mm.
like, okay. I would just laugh my ass off if that happened. I was like, okay, nope, I have seen it all.
You're like, nope, I'm not paying him for the Dead is Rising.
I know the game's already about infected and in a way of being zombified, but technically they're not zombies. They're just infected. There is a difference. But yeah. Okay, random thing to note, I don't know why it says I'm sending 4.3 megabits.
I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
guess it's other stuff, but wouldn't make much sense when I set it to 4. 4 megabits. I don't need the points. Make it slower. Jeez.
Järni.
I don't know. Need the freaking new internet so I can just get past this issues. Hmm. But yeah, when it comes down to that, I mean, I would get back to it, but again, it's just all those random issues, and uh, there's other games that I'm definitely wanting to get back to, and I'm wanting to try to get to a single game type of deal. Like, I don't want to constantly do that, but I want to try to focus more on things.
I mean,
So
you
try
already
to
have
focus.
like hours here where we have like Ocarina of Time and
Yeah, I mean, those
uh,
work, but then I have like my actual solo stuff where just me, and it's like I don't really do a lot of stuff by myself, and I honestly need to do more of just me because it's like it just needs to be that way.
I mean,
Hmm.
we do a lot of Ocarina because we both enjoy the game, and so then we have Halo. We should have or well, technically we're done with Destiny. We do need to do all the strikes if we want to, but
We can get to that, yeah, and we need to do that bit.
and it's only 2 months left until the beginning of a new era.
Mm-hmm. Era and era are both accurate pronunciation. What's the other one?
Ah! What the fuck did
What? What happened?
I don't know. It felt like something sharp was at my feet.
Hmm. Probably just nerves. Yeah. No, just like a bunch of stuff I wanted to try to focus on. Like, I do want to try to get to play more Control because I'm barely even into it, and I'm sure there's plenty more to get through. I mean, hell, the freaking new DLC is supposed to be about Alan Wake or the one before it, one of the two. But it's like I definitely would like to go for that because like I love the Alan Wake game. I would say games, but the second one was meh. But, yeah. So I'd love to like see how that goes down. And then I have other games to play. I mean, I just went back to playing a little bit more of Fallen Order last night.
Oh.
Played some more, and I don't know why I stopped before. I don't know if it's because I got something different or what. I don't actually
You
know what
know, I think
happened.
it was that. I
'Cause
think it was another
at
game
first I was
coming out.
stuck. I think so. I mean, I think it was like I was getting stuck on something, but then when I went back last night, I was playing around. I'm like, there's nothing wrong. I'm perfectly in the right area I'm supposed to be. I was in the part where I was supposed to go into the Star Destroyer to face the second sister. Like I had the little boss fight with her.
I
like at
remember
that
that
point.
one was a little bit
Past that,
irritating.
me not really. I mean, I'm getting the
Well,
hang of like dodging and everything, and
yeah,
parrying.
I didn't have issues with that fight, but I think it was a little bit irritating because it was like early game and you still try to learn the controls.
I mean, it was fine for me, probably because of the huge break I took. But
I
I mean,
also
it was
play
fun.
Master, remember that?
True, but at the same time, it's always just having I have plenty of stuff unlocked already. I have almost everything in the whatever moves category in the skill tree. I have almost everything unlocked. Main thing I need to get now is the lightsaber
I
throws.
don't think so. Because I think there's like 3 phases, like it's gonna
Well, I'm
expand
saying
it.
like all the way at the first bit. I'm saying like that
I
little
think
first bit.
there's,
Like I
is it
got
3
got
phases I
off.
think it's gonna expand?
I don't know.
I don't know, I remember it's like,
All I know is I'm up to lightsaber throws. I haven't got to unlock that yet because it's like 3. But yeah, I definitely want to get back into that. I mean, I was honestly contemplating like, in a way, I really just want to try to play this on PC because it's like it would run much better and I wouldn't have the issues I do with the Xbox version because I know the issues I'm having on there is because I'm running the original Xbox. They expect you to at least have an S or the X at this point. It's like, I have the original and it does not run great. It's got a lot of issues, a lot of audio popping issues and everything else. It's just god awful. But I play through it. So part of me is considering just grabbing it on PC, but at the same time, it's like I have to beat all the way back to where I'm at, and then go to I don't know, and actually end up buy the thing. Granted, on it's actually on EA Play or Play Premium or whatever.
EA
I'll
Play. I
look
think
through.
it's called EA Play now.
Yeah, Play Now, but it's on Play or Play Now. I don't know which, but I could basically get that and do it. But it's like that'd be like the only game I'd play on it. Like every other game's not really that interesting because I already have it. I have all the battlefields mainly. I'm missing a couple of them, but I have almost all of them. I have Battlefront 2, both of them, and I have the first classic. It's like I don't really need EA Play or Play Now. Be kind of a waste of money. It'd just be like for 2 or 3 games. So no point in that. But to have fun on a PC, it wouldn't be too bad. But I'm fine with Xbox, I
I
guess.
just thought about something just because I was thinking, because I'm so fucking, I'm wanna play Battlefront 2 again. No, our classic series.
Mm,
I was like, we
yeah.
we need to do that with the Old Republic.
I don't think it'd be that fun though. I mean, that one's more of a like it's closer to not an MMO, but it's like obviously closer to like the RPG type of setting,
Yeah,
and
but
it's like
still,
wouldn't
that would
really
be
fit.
so fucking hard. That's even harder that game than Battlefront.
I wouldn't really think. I mean, maybe, but I feel like it'd be more like tuned. Like it just like it wouldn't really be all that hard.
I don't
At least I
know.
don't.
I didn't have that
Like
much issues with
I
it because
Old Republic is the MMO, which I barely played through, but which is not that bad. Again, it's literally just World of Warcraft but it's Star Wars. So far, that's what all it is. And it has
it
cutscenes.
is the Old
Actual,
Republic, the MMORPG still out.
yeah,
Huh? Where do you get
yeah,
that game? What did
Steam.
this? Huh?
That's Steam or their website. Because what was funny is that for a while there, they were like, "Oh, hey, yeah, you have this," and I'll mention it again. I've mentioned it on a previous episode, I'm pretty sure, but I bought it at a like this bargain place, and I looked. I think it was actually 25 cents that I bought it for. No, no, not 25 cents. $2.
For
Somewhere around
the
there.
the MMO?
Old like MMO, like the physical version, like with the disc and everything. Like I bought it there, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I didn't notice it was the MMO when I bought it, and then after later I looked, I'm like, oh, I was like, I was wondering why this is so cheap. Like I didn't notice, like, hey, Knights, moron, Knights of the Old Republic, not Old Republic. And then I look it up. It's like, oh, hey, this has been shut down for a while. I'm like, so I just bought a game for no reason. Great.
Did they start it up ever again or no?
I mean, they did start it up, yeah, because it's on Steam now.
Huh.
It's perfectly there. It's a lot of space, though. It's like 50 gigs, I think.
That's big. I mean, that was like, that's so interesting because it's like, old the Old Republic MMO. I think that wasn't so big. That was the issue. Was that it wasn't that big of a game.
I mean, it's pretty good of a game, though. I mean, again, I mean, it does have all that kind of stuff, and even has like the dialogue tree. Like it has a dialogue tree for quite a bit too, like the older, like Knights of the Old Republic and everything.
I never could play the first one. I don't know why. I think my graphic card was stupid.
Just didn't want to.
It's
not that it's a bad game. It's just like not really the type of game I'd play.
I like Knights of the Old Republic. At least the second one.
I mean, again, I figured the story would be great, and I would definitely want to see it. But other than that,
Yeah.
No, I gotta hate when I get like a drink. I drink it kind of quickly, and now almost every time I talk, you can probably tell my throat is just nope.
I've also finished my drink.
Here lately, I just been like super thirsty, like all the time. Need to like get some more hydrating crap. Freaking buy more Powerades or something.
Powerade is good.
It is. I mean, it's better for you if you're like actually doing active stuff. You're sitting in a chair for God knows how long. Us 3 to 4 hours per stream. Well, when we're in the same stream, you can go for much longer.
Yeah, if I stream, I probably would have streamed like while I was about to finish next one anyways, but I crashed at the end.
That sucks.
I don't know why. It was like, oh, this, like, and now I'm waiting for an update on next month that I don't know when it's coming because they're waiting to get approved.
I think I should check to see if I got approved for it, but I'm very sure I haven't. I haven't seen any emails. Pretty sure they just said no to me.
I'm
Likely.
almost.
Honestly, I don't care.
I'm almost willing to gift you the game. Almost.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not really. I'm not really sure if it's a game I'd play.
I mean, you would have to for at least once if I buy it for you.
Oh no, yeah, request rejected.
Wow. You got rejected by P-Cube, and I got 2 games from P-Cube.
It's more just because they don't see me doing many games, which, granted, that's not really me. Okay, it is me. It's not the fact that I'm not recording them, I'm not editing them. It's because I've been wanting to do nearly everything I can on my days off. If I had just like all the time in the world, I would probably edit way more now. Because I'm more interested.
Oh yeah, I need to do Magic of the Beast or whatever it was called.
It's another reason why I didn't really record a lot of back in the day or edit is because I had a very trash computer. But now I can play nearly every game and my editing is perfectly fine. The
issue is that you still don't like editing because you don't like listening.
I don't like listening and doing all this other stuff myself. I'm in the red again.
Hey, you're having issues today.
I am.
And oh yeah, Mask of Mist. I think that looks like a game you would enjoy.
Yeah. This might be the last episode on audio. Probably not. I mean, I feel like what's going to happen is it's just going to have a very blurry video.
That, or you're going to have to use my audio, and that's going to be terrible.
Granted, what I could do is just like get the edit, like just download it, and then all the parts where we cut out or anything, I could just insert stuff from your side, which wouldn't be great, but it's there.
Yeah.
Dungeons. You just do what I can.
Oh, I need to do more Dungeons free, by the way.
I need to do more of everything.
Also,
love
how
free
about this getting the same game on both PlayStation and Xbox?
Yeah, that happens almost all the time. I had that happen with a few games.
Yeah, but I got that
Usually
for
I just
Dungeons
pick the one I
Free.
prefer.
Here was the issue though, I had to buy Dungeons Free on the PlayStation because by some reason I didn't get the game itself. I got all the DLCs.
That's something. I just usually when that happens, I just like pick the one I prefer and then just reject the other one.
I took both because I tested it on Xbox. I was like, I love this game. But the issue was when I got the game.
Is if you're doing like a review or something and you want to be very specific, be like, how does it run on here? How does it run on here? Any differences or whatever.
Well, at the time, the one reason I could set both was because when I streamed it on Xbox, there was another platform that was existing. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Granted, Twitch is perfectly fine on there now.
Yeah.
I did check. It runs actually pretty well now.
Okay, but which on Wednesday, hopefully, Halo.
They stream some more Halo. Get into ODST when it's about to release on PC. Still hasn't yet, so hey, technically you're still under the mark that me and Evil predicted.
Yeah, well, I got the controller before it was released, and when we were playing it, that's a different story.
Well, I don't think it's going to release before Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah,
and again, I want to try to record it as we're playing it, because I feel like the only reason why the whole encoding thing like broke on previous streams was because I was using the Streamlabs OBS and it just crashed it. I haven't had that at all on here. I've had it go into red, but I've never had it crash and freeze. So I'm pretty sure that was the issue.
Yeah.
So basically, if we do have streaming issues while we play that, I'll still have the recording. I just forgot to record this one because I didn't think about it. I was like, it's just a podcast. And then I was thinking then as it went red the first time, I'm like,
oh fuck.
I should have. Probably should have now I'm thinking about it because I'm like, I could have just grabbed the audio from it. It does not take long to export audio. I just had the video. I cut out the video and I say export as WAV or whatever, WAV format, and just like export it pretty quick. But no. You're stupid. Oh well. It is what it is. I'll probably have to edit it anyway if it does cut out anything in the export. But yeah, so I don't know, just plenty of stuff that I'm needing to do.
Yeah. I have like
2 games recorded now.
I have 3 games I need to do. 2 of which I don't really want to do.
Yeah. So I mean, I have 2 games recorded right now. I have my thing with Skater XL, which is going to be there are going to be more videos in that for me. It's just I'm waiting till they get more updates. But you have that, and then I recorded a game called Matter, which perfectly fine as a video because it was only like an hour long, like the full game. Granted, I got stuck on the last level because it was so stupid. The like main thing is like it's like a mechanic where if you're inside this like bubble, you can move yourself super quick through the bubble. Like pushing a button will just like propel you forward. And I was following this line that told me where to go, and you had to get like pixel perfect on the end point because it's just like a little orb at the end they had to land on. I missed it every single damn time I tried to hit. Every time I would just go straight through. It's like nope. One time I hit it and I bounced off. It's like okay, well, it took forever. So, yeah. We got that, and probably more in the future. No, speaking of like random videos and edit and stuff, like just a random thing I want to mention is like I'm wanting to upgrade a lot of equipment stuff. I mean, recently I got the Stream Deck, as I mentioned the past few times, but I have that, and honestly, since I've been adding more and more keys to it, it's like, God, this is very useful. It was a very good purchase, but there's other things I really should upgrade. For starters, this mic. May not sound all too bad, but it's equalized. I mean, I have an EQ on it. If you want to know what that sounds like without an EQ, you won't be able to hear this because you already hear me without the EQ. Give me just a second. I'll just turn it off and back on. Yeah, there you go. There's me without the EQ. And with the EQ, I don't know if that really changed too much because I'm also using a suppression program, but regardless. Yeah, anyway, I have to freaking use an EQ to make it sound good. And there's a few mics I'm wanting to get to like replace. They're a little expensive though. Not too expensive, but a little bit. You have one that's $70, that's a hybrid. You can plug straight into the computer, USB, or into like a interface with the XLR stuff. But basically, you do that, or one that's 100, that's just XLR. Or I buy the Elgato Wave 3 that's like 160. Very expensive, but has a lot of features. I mean, it's bad enough that when the other day when I mentioned like in SOC and everything, hey, it's back in stock. It's out of stock again. It didn't take long. I'm sure they only had like a few left. So that's great.
You know.
That is how everything goes these days. It's just like, hey, we have all this, and now we don't. And a lot of people, obviously, these days are just buying stuff to gouge it, just resell it and gouge up the price. Which God, I hate. I've
But it's a
seen like
valid strategy. That's the issue.
it is, but at the same time, it's like it's even worse. Like I'm seeing a lot of Elgato products like being raised to like $300 or this other stuff at 300 when it's like 150 or less than that. It's like you're charging way too much to the point that no one's gonna buy it for that much. You're just being an idiot. Like do it a little bit over it, and then you still get profit.
Yeah.
Like I guess say if someone's 150, do
200.
170 to 200, somewhere around there. If it's not available anywhere else, people will probably go for it. I'll admit I probably bought some that was priced like computer, for example, the parts in it. Likely some things in there are price gouged, like too high than what they're normally. But I bought them.
Well, I gonna say this. I bought 5 books for a good price.
I mean,
That
these
was
days when it comes to like audio stuff, or video or anything like that, I go to this website called Sweetwater. It's like a gear type of website, but pretty much everything there is on price. It's not gouged, so it's like all the right price. It's basically I'm good there. Still, Amazon would be probably better considering it's like, oh hey, you get that in like 2 days if you got Prime, 2 to 3. So that would be better, but would you rather spend more to get it early or spend less to get it like a week later? That is the issue.
yeah. I mean, and I gotta tell you this. You remember when I told you about my books that took like a week to get?
Mm-hmm.
I got my controller like from the day they dispatched it. It took it 2 days,
Yeah,
and that
not
was
rough.
coming from Portugal. My books were
I'm
coming from
pretty
the
sure.
United Kingdom.
I'm pretty sure it's just because everybody thought, it's just books. This person can wait. Oh, it's a controller. Well, they don't have a controller. They can't play their games. That's a lot of waste of money. Let's get this quick. Priorities, dude.
Yeah.
These drivers and pilots know what they're doing.
But it's so weird. Like I could still it's said, but also it was a weekend. But
Then
still,
again, you do. I mean, obviously you have Amazon Prime, right? So,
yeah, but it doesn't work apparently on the United Kingdom servers.
well, it's either that or it's well, probably that too. But in another way, it's also probably whatever it is. Could just be the item itself wasn't a Prime item. So
I think it
like
was.
just well, if it wasn't, then there would be the issue. Because I've had stuff like that. It's like, oh hey, I buy it, and it's like, oh, it's not actually supported by Prime. My freaking power supply I almost bought would have came like a week or two later. Actually, no, I think it was like 2 weeks later that I was getting every other part. I'm like, yeah, I gotta cancel this purchase and go get another one. So I did. It's like I am not waiting 2 weeks to install this computer. I am gonna get it as soon as every other part arrives. Instead of wait an extra day. And all was well. And then they came out with other computer parts recently. Ain't that some shit? I mean, I knew they were gonna come out recently. I mean, for everyone knowing, here's the tech part of being a nerd, of the nerd ensemble. But when it comes down to it, it's like I bought the RTX 2070. They recently came out with the 3000 series. So obviously 3070, 3080, I think 3080 Ti, but
Yeah, because
regardless,
3010 doesn't need to exist.
well, no, that's way too low. It's gonna be 7 and up, bro. Screw that 60. No one uses 60s anymore. We had the 2060, but they got rid of it. No more 30s. Or maybe they have it, I don't know. But with the 3070, apparently it's much more performance than a 2080 Ti, and is from what I heard, like 60% better than 2070. So it's like for the same price of a 2070, much better, and for way lower than a 2080 Ti, much better. So it's like, what are you doing, NVIDIA? You're kind of screwing your other product. I guess that's the purpose, but damn.
I mean, they want you to buy the better item, and
I mean, granted, what I could do is just get my GPU, sell it, like resell it, and it'll be a little bit less. So instead of like 500, I get like 4 or 3, maybe somewhere around there. But like resell it.
I
It's
buy
only
it for $1.
month or two, but no. I mean, just have to resell it, and then it's just like, oh hey, there's that. I can get the new one, but at the same time, it's like I don't really think I need to. I mean, sure, it'd be better to get more performance, but it's like, it'd be okay. I can still run everything past 60 frames, so I'm fine. I'm fine with what I got. And soon enough, freaking Ryzen is going to release their 4000 series, and it's just like, yeah, my CPU is about to be even more outdated.
and
So I'm
that
doing
is
great.
what. What?
I said, so I'm doing great.
And that's why you should play tennis.
No,
Yes.
no one wants to play tennis.
Say that to Federer,
Who?
one of the greatest tennis stars ever. History.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't watch or do anything involved with tennis.
Nor do I.
So why do I care about anybody in there? I don't care about tennis. I don't care about soccer. I don't care about or rugby, whichever one, or not rugby. Freaking soccer or football. Rugby would be American football.
No, rugby is a different sport. That's so weird. Like rugby
It's
is.
close.
Yeah, and
It's like their version is what I'm saying. It's like it's their version to be like, oh hey, we're playing off of American football, but it's different.
No, I think actually rugby came first.
Whatever. Regardless.
You sound so American now. Like, yeah, they're stealing our idea. Like, no, you're still.
I didn't say they were stealing an idea. I was saying that it's more of at this rate.
I think then we have Australian football. That's like this. Whatever the show is basically is like no protection.
I mean, it's. I don't really care for sports in general. Pretty much, 99% of them are just god awful, and I could care less for.
But tennis.
No one cares about tennis.
Well, Nadal does.
Again, I don't know who that is.
Again, a tennis player.
Congrats for them. I don't care. I mean, you got that. Honestly, the only one I would even want to watch, which is random, but I'd actually be fine watching baseball because it's fine.
Baseball of anything is probably boring. That's probably more boring than goddamn tennis.
Golf.
No, I mean golf is golf.
I mean, then again, we have people, which I'm pretty sure you're one of them, being like, oh, hey, golf is not technically it's still a sport. Technically, golf is still a sport. It's just different.
It's
Freaking
the
people being like,
special
oh,
kid.
with golf, it needs to be fast paced and all this other shit. Like, that's not what a sport means. It's just competitive. That's all a sport is to be competitive and to have like an official deal around it. And golf is. It is a sport. It is competitive. You don't really need to be athletic to be in sports or to be a sport. Granted,
Yeah.
if you're gonna be walking for 10 hours a day, maybe you do need to be a little bit athletic. So who knows?
Oh my god! I wonder how much training goes into like doing. Read about those marathon trainers. Like, god damn, like they don't run a little bit.
Are you talking about marathons and stuff? Like, I mean, that's plenty.
Yeah,
That's a lot
that's
of cardio.
my god. That's one of the fucking sports that would be like, yeah, I can't. That I can't understand.
That's the other thing.
Sprinting.
A marathon and a sprint. I mean, obviously it's different. I mean, of course,
Yeah,
but
but
sprinting, that's oh god, no. Marathon is like, again, you don't have to go super fast. You don't need to. The idea, obviously, of a marathon is just go at a good pace. Because
yeah,
if you go at a good enough
be
pace and you have
smart
people running
about
off,
your energy, basically. Don't use
yeah,
use
because
it up too
obviously,
early, because then you're gonna.
yeah, then those people are gonna get tired near the end or in the middle, and then you just like get passed up, or again, someone else is doing it, you pass them up.
That's why if anyone ever watch cycle, uh, like Tour de France, you can see how they work there because it's like you lay behind someone so you don't use the draft. Because you
thing I don't.
you don't know what draft is.
No, I know what draft is. I don't care. I'm saying another thing I don't, or even would even want to
Actually,
watch or
watching
follow.
that is kind of interesting, but it's like, how can you? That
Again,
goddamn
two different people.
yeah. But I also love sport.
One of us does not care because I think it's boring as absolute shit.
I
It's a
mean,
pile of dog crap, just
I
sitting
think
there
it's
on the ground,
boring.
fresh, and you just stepped in it. It's that bad. I don't care for pretty much most sports or even any. There's just a couple that are mildly interesting.
I feel like the idea is interesting, but then I don't give a fuck about it in general. Like,
Again, nerd ensemble,
yeah.
nerd sport. You could still be a nerd at a sport, but it's like,
Oh yeah, say that to
we've
jocks
had
in
fights.
schools because apparently in the
Well,
school.
okay, if you think about that, jocks are also nerds. That's
Yeah.
the problem. They make fun of people for being nerds when, in honesty, they go home and play video games all day.
Or they are
Like,
like
if they're not doing their training
and
or
yeah,
whatever.
and knowing about your sport, that's also a nerdy thing to do because you need to know stuff about what you're doing and nerd about that game or whatever you're doing to be good at it. Like, if you do a sport, you are technically a nerd also, but in a different kind of nerd.
Well, that's why they're called jocks. Because they have their own phrase. Because they were so insecure to be called a nerd at sports, they just we have to start calling ourselves something else. What do we think? Jock? Sure, let's go for it.
And then
Like, what is that strap you put on to protect the goods? Jock strap? Yeah, okay, jocks. We're jocks. Fucking hell. I don't even know why that was a thing. We'll get into that topic.
yeah.
Yeah. Terrible segue. I honestly got really nothing else to talk about. Move on to what I literally titled the stream of that we haven't even gotten to yet. But honestly, I don't really care how a title goes. It doesn't have to fit every topic. It's have to fit tiny topics so you know what's going to go in there. That's kind of the point of it. Like, you can have the title of your stream or the title of like the podcast episode be about one topic out of like that lasts like 30 minutes when every other topic lasts like an hour or two. So, yeah, topic of this thing, the main one, I guess. Not necessarily. The main one was being a content creator and all this other stuff, but yeah. Nintendo. The thing mostly. So since I'm the only real one who did much of anything with this, because you just like saw the main thing that was coming out. So there was that. So you know just the tiniest bit of things. But so yeah, Nintendo and their recent direct of the Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary. Yeah. I'm trying to clear my throat because I know I'll be talking for like the longest time. Okay. So honestly, I mean, this one was like pretty short, as most of them are these days. That's the thing about Nintendo; they don't really do long stuff.
Unless
Like
it's
they
a
don't really do.
major direct, like.
I mean, if it's like a major direct, like for E3 or like during E3 time or Game Awards or whatever else. Speaking of, I need to freaking watch. I think it was Game Awards, the one that was recently. Like everything's like a ton of trailers for it that came out, like a shit ton of game trailers. I need to get into that.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched Game Award.
Yeah, there's like a ton of them that just came out
Are you
recently,
red?
and it's like announcements. Yes.
But I noticed that your stream is lagging.
That's what it is. But anyway,
And you're robotic
so
now.
great. What is? Hold on a minute.
Oh god, you're having issues like a lot.
Hmm. Okay, it's raising back up for a second there. Oh, it's not. Can you
So
get any
about
higher?
that recording.
I would record now, but I guess I could record now, just add this final bit in, but what would be the point?
Also, it would be
It's getting
easier
up.
for you in the future to do like if or you remember what I told you about like was it last time when I told you that I could remake my old channel, well I could make a channel for clips. That would be good also because if you record it, because then I could use your recording, which is way easier than me downloading stuff. Yeah, you're having issues right now.
Oh, you don't say.
I'm just
I'll
watching
show
the
you my
stream.
issues.
I think did your music die too?
It's still there. Let's show you a graph. I just sent it in Skype, but a graph of how bad this is getting.
Yeah, the up they just that. Are you sure you're not on the stock market?
Fucking terrible. I don't know. I feel like we may just have to end this. Not really end it, but just like stop stream-wise and just like go for a recording or something, because this is getting really bad.
Well,
So
you have
live, you're
to
probably not gonna get the rest
me.
of this conversation.
Well,
Oh yeah, me. Fine, but so basically, we could do that. Just redirect everyone to you, and then
yeah, don't die now.
edit.
Like,
Well, my stream's already dying. What's the difference?
yeah, but I can't continue this goddamn podcast if you're dying.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I want to just transfer it over.
And
So
so you have to
live
download.
wise, I don't think anybody else is here, but uh, give
If
me a
you are
second.
there.
If there is anybody here, I want to say that you need to go straight to Swede's channel. I would do a raid, but I have no one here, so there's no point for raids.
Hey, just host me. Just it is slash host something.
Should be. I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I'm back in the green, but I want to go ahead and switch off just in case this keeps
Yeah.
happening.
Also, start with
But
your recording about now.
yeah, so okay. We're definitely gonna switch over to just this. Oh, I just realized. Hold on a minute. Is it still there? Yeah. Oh. No. Yeah. Okay. It's still there. Good. Make sure it was still on the like the track system was still fine on recording. Okay. So stream wise, I'm gonna have to end my own stream.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be that. I'm gonna have to download this later and edit it properly to make sure everything's okay. Because the streaming thing is getting way too rough. I don't know what the hell's going on. It happens all the damn time and it pisses me off. But yeah. So
Hopefully, it's getting fixed when you get your upgrade.
oh, I'm sure it will because I should have like 25 up. So yes. All right. So I want to go ahead and stop stream wise. Recording will still stay the same. And yeah, anybody audio wise, you will not hear a difference uh between this point and then maybe I hope, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Stream wise, I just stopped, so it's recording now for me.
Yeah. Well.
I really should have been recording the whole time, but
Well, we couldn't have expected it. We were thinking it was gonna go good, but hey.
I thought at least it wouldn't be all that bad, but it's bad. It's okay,
So I think it's been your issue the whole time since you started lying in the beginning.
maybe. Anyway, so we'll go and continue the topic for those on your side and for this recording, hopefully. This may be one of the times when I don't have this episode on my channel if it goes too bad. I'll
Yeah.
just have to have a redirect for you,
Well.
or I'll have to download your side and just put it on my site. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, so let's go and continue with the topic at hand with the Mario Bros. 3 35th anniversary. Pretty much everyone knew that they were going to do something and everything. Like everybody knew that something was going to come out of this. More so, they knew about like the ports and everything. They just didn't know how it was going to be handled. But we'll go in order of basically everything that happened. First thing they announced is a Game and Watch Super Mario Bros. Version. So no one knows what a Game and Watch is. It was basically one of their first like handheld systems, and it's like a colored version. So you can literally play the first Mario Brothers, the Lost Levels, which not the best decision there, Nintendo. Lost Levels is really damn difficult. Then you go with like a old Game Watch game they had, so it's like whatever, and apparently it has like clock functions because it's a Game and Watch. It had a clock function, so cool. I guess it's like
Dog.
Mario themed clock. Yeah, it's like a Mario themed clock or something. It just has like you can run around in it, and it just has like a clock in the middle for the screen.
Huh.
Mm.
Never heard
But
about it.
regardless, it's a limited edition that comes out in November. So for any of those random collectors, go nuts. And then afterwards, the one thing we knew was gonna happen is just like whatever. Super Mario 3D World getting a Switch version, which I'm perfectly happy about. I'm like, oh hey, that's definitely something I'll grab. It definitely is a fun game, so I'll grab that for sure. And it's getting a exclusive DLC, Bowser's Fury.
Huh. What's that?
Eh, I don't know. It was just a tiny little trailer, like a little teaser, just like pop in. Like okay.
So no one knows what it is.
Fun fact. I just noticed this. I was looking at my stream stats. Drop frames 6,000, which is just 3%. Which, granted, that's not 6,000 is still quite a bit. 3% still quite a bit, but it's like there's not much going on screen. So if it was just the screen getting extremely freaking blurry, but audio's fine, I'd be fine with it. But yeah,
Yeah, I can check if you want to. I can check your VOD.
I'll check later. But continue on. Uh, like I said, it was just basically a teaser for it because it was like a show Mario 3D World and everything, and then right there at the end of the teaser it said plus, and then it just like shows a little teaser like this like new island, like there's like Stormy and everything, and then it's just like Bowser's Fury. It's like okay, new expansion to it, which I guess is kind of what the other games did, except they were called Deluxe. And then, something really out of left field. Super Mario Bros. Actually, there's two things out of left field on this. So, first of all, being Super Mario Bros. 35, which is a 35-player Mario Brothers Battle Royale. That was really random, honestly. I mean, I didn't exactly expect that. It's just basically. Have you seen the gameplay for Tetris 99 at all?
No.
It's basically kind of the same like mechanics, but in this it's basically like every time you kill an enemy, that enemy will be sent to the other players. Uh, there's like random other stuff. There's like a item roulette of like a random item you'll get, or something like that. So basically, again, if everybody's like on like random levels, they'll probably completely destroy you because again, if you kill a lot of enemies, or kill every enemy there, they're all getting sent to everybody else. You just have like a cluster of enemies on your screen. So that'd be really rough. But basically, I mean, honestly, obviously not a fan of Battle Royale games, but mostly it's just the trend of them lately, like the FPS ones. Those pretty much suck. But these type actually aren't too bad. I'd be perfectly fine playing this. And I definitely will, because it'll be out what's it called? October 1st. So, next month. I'll definitely play it. I'll freaking play it on stream if people want. Then the other left field. Mario Kart. A little thing for Mario Kart, except it's Mario Kart in your house. Which is really random. It is literally Mario Kart in your house. It's basically you get a toy model of a cart. So basically Mario in a cart, Luigi, whatever. You get those. It has a camera on the top of the on top of the toy, like facing forward. So it's a AR game of just like you on your Switch, like it plays throughout your house. Like you can build tracks that way and just have it go that doing that. Like honestly, it's just really weird. Honestly, I think you should actually look it up later, like see the trailer for it. Because I
Okay.
mean, it's one thing. In a way, it's kind of like why, but at the same time, it's Nintendo. I mean, they made the Labo, and then they turned the Labo into a VR. It's like, okay, it's kind of not expected, but I'll say I won't buy that because I don't have the space for it in my house, and it seems like you would need hardwood flooring. I mainly have carpet. I don't think that thing's going to drive very well on carpet. So, not the best of ideas. But it definitely seems nice, for sure. That comes out in October as well. Everybody loves October, apparently. Oh, I forgot to mention, Mario 3D World comes out like February next year. Which kind of sucks, but that's what it says. And then, of course, they have Super Mario All Stars, the SNES game, brought it to the SNES Online. So there's those games for everybody, which good compilation. That's fine. That's already out. And then the main one, which is the main thing we're going to be talking about for the next like couple minutes. Super Mario 3D All Stars, which for again, if people did not hear anything about this or whatever, it is Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. So a Nintendo 64 game, GameCube, and Wii. Those three are going into will be brought to Switch. $60 for the whole package.
Not bad.
Or yeah, well, $60. So US wise, I think in Canada it's 80. Sucks.
Ah, you fucking
Canadian
Canadians.
dollars. Well, Canadian dollars are is pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like 80 there, and I don't know about everywhere else, but $60 in America, and a lot of people kind of seem like it's not worth it. But if you think about it, it's $20 per game. I'd say that's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, if you figure,
I
if
mean,
you bought, if you don't own a 64, a GameCube, or a Wii, definitely you should buy it on the Switch then.
I'll
If you
say
own
when
that.
it comes to 64, and you have like a decent phone or a decent computer, you don't really need it because you can absolutely play Mario 64 like through an emulator if you want to do it that way. If you want to be completely legit, then obviously this way, do it that way. You know, buy it legitimately now that there is an actual full legit way to do it. That just clipped badly. That just went super high up. I gotta figure out this damn clipping system. Anyway, we got that, and they're making both a physical and digital release of it.
That's
There's
good.
both. Yeah, there is gonna be a physical, and I'm actually considering buying the physical. I'm like really considering it. And I'm like,
Do it.
it's gonna come out in like a few days or like a week. Oh, hold on, when does this come out? Like the 18th, I think. Yes, it comes out the 18th. It's about a week or so, week or two. A week. So basically, just wait, hold on, 7 days. It's 14. Then 4 more days. Yeah, basically. Next week after, somewhere around. Regardless, yeah, I could just put damn calendar instead of doing this in my head. It's next Friday. That's when it comes out. So basically, you can either pre-order it digitally and get it that way and just instantly have it on the day, or get it through a pre-order and either possibly have to wait a little while or not, because there are some places that'll actually deliver to you on the day, or I've heard some people actually get theirs like a day or two before it launched. I've heard people get their games like before the game that they were pre-ordering launched. In a way, you're like, oh, that's cool, but these days it's like, that's bad. And it's good and bad because it's like you can't play it because it'll
Oh
just be
my
sitting
god,
there in your system.
you backed away again from the mic probably, and it caught you as background
It's
noise
not.
again.
No, I'm not backed away from the mic. That's not how it works. It's like the way I talk or something else.
Yeah, and then it sounds like you're super muffled and you become really loud.
I don't know, man. I mean, if it becomes too much of an issue, I'll figure it out. What time is it? Like 12 minutes in? All right, I'll figure that out later. But
I mean, it may only be on my side because Skype is
maybe
weird.
it could be Skype, but I'll check because I'm using the same mic for both me and both the stream and this, or recording of it. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But basically, yeah, when it comes to physical and that, the thing that gets me is it's limited. It's a limited release, physical wise, limited release, definitely. But apparently, I don't know, but people are also saying it's a limited digital release too. Like a lot of these are. So like I know for a fact that March of next year that Super Mario 3D Battle Royale will be gone. They're taking it away after a year. It's just like, why? Like, what the hell is the point in doing that? And like basically just dropping what they made. So I don't know where. I mean, that's kind of the issue when it comes down to it. Just like why people want to pirate games and do all this other stuff is because you keep dropping support. Because that's what Nintendo does. They drop support for older games. Just constantly. It's just like it makes no sense. Especially after 1 year. I don't know about you, but I have games that I've owned for years and I still haven't even beaten them or played them. So come on. That would suck.
At least you're not cop and have not beaten Pokemon properly.
True. Very true. I mean, who can't beat Pokemon? I understand if it takes you a while, but it's not hard to beat Pokemon, man.
Yeah, I said that. I've beaten Pokemon with one Pokemon. It's not that hard of a game. Well, it's hard when you have one, but you know.
Mm.
But it's like, yeah, I can't do anything like... Yeah, it's hard to defeat the game with one Pokemon, but that's because every type that is against you is the only weakness you have. And being a water dark type, it's not good for your health.
Not really, for multiple reasons.
Goddamn frogs. They're stupid dark types.
Eh. Oh, I was just gonna mention.
Would it have been fun if they ever said that they were gonna release another Pokemon Red game? But that would have made people so pissed.
What do you mean?
Because people are so tired of Generation 1 being released over and over again. Like, they've already got like 3 different versions by now. You have Generation 1, then you have Fire Red and Leaf Green.
I mean, that's Gen, what, 3?
Yeah, but it's
No.
like, it's a Gen 1, it's based on the Gen 1 storyline. And people are tired of Kanto, in general. And then you have Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. That one again is based on the Gen 1 storyline. I would have loved it if they just said, "Oh wait, by the way, here's Pokemon Red and White or Red and Blue."
Red and Y and red and green. Yep, good job.
I mean, Red and Green would be true because Green was the actual version that was released. I don't understand why they didn't release Green outside Japan. Like, why was it Red and Blue and not Red and Green like Japan?
I don't know. Probably because it didn't make much sense and no one really cared about the American audience. No one cared about whatever. Bulbasaur, no one cares.
Yeah, who cares about a vegetable?
I mean, obviously people do care, but it's just like, I guess in America was like, it was not the highest. Everybody was on fire or water. Nobody really cared much for grass.
But in general, grass typed in Pokemon has never been like a high tier type to choose.
Yeah. But of course later we got Emerald and Leaf Green, so yeah, not bad.
I'm still a fire type user mostly.
Same. I just prefer fire. The only time I'll ever pick a water is Totodile. If Totodile is in the game, I'm picking him. It's just happening.
So if we ever play Pixelmon, you're choosing Totodile. I got you.
Likely. Likely, but yeah. I'm definitely not picking Squirtle. I'm not freaking picking a Pygmy. For anyone who doesn't know, in Pixelmon, Pygmy Pokemon obviously are basically very tiny. Their health is like shit. It's just it's not the best. It's like extremely tiny Pokemon just like on the ground. It's like, okay, that's not right.
But they are adorable!
Sure, but in practicality, it ain't good.
I mean, they can sneak into places you wouldn't want them to.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
You know that little basic dude you got where you're blocking off a lava pit? He's like in there. Damn guy can run away quite well too. But when it comes back to the Mario 3D stuff, a lot of people were in a way hoping it would be remakes, myself kind of included. I mean, it didn't have to be a full remake. That wasn't really the deal. I mean, it didn't have to be like the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy or the new Spyro deal, but I forgot what it is. And it's bad enough I actually own Spyro. I own the Spyro trilogy, but I don't actually know the name. But which I barely even played.
How dare ya?
Well, I mean, I preferred. See, this is the other part that is my hot take. I prefer the Legend of Spyro. So yeah, people really hate that trilogy, and I preferred it. It's like you get all these random powers and stuff, and it's just like, oh, that's cool. But then David Spade is your companion, and that's some shit. Anyway, so basically people were hoping to be like remakes, but it wasn't. It was just straight up ports, and they were upscaled. So remasters, if you want to call it that, but basically they were upscaled to be in like 1080. So basically you get like a better look on the games, but well, it is what it is. At the very least, you're getting 3 of basically the best Marios like on the system. I bet it was kind of like what happened to Super Mario Galaxy 2, but apparently they don't want to talk about it. Like no one wants, like everyone wants Galaxy 2 on there, but no, I guess not. Maybe they'll add it later. As someone who's never played Sunshine completely, I've only played the first level, and same goes for Galaxy. Definitely a good reason for me to get it, to play those. So, definitely a good reason. I have definitely played all of Mario 64 though. For sure. Yeah. But I mean, in a way, I was kind of hoping to be like maybe some upgraded textures, upgraded models, perhaps. I mean, if you look at the PC port of Mario 64, you look at like pictures of that, and I don't know if you saw the picture that actually no, no, actually there wasn't one there. Never mind. Nope, I'll have to send it later, I guess. But they made like an HD model for that port on PC, and it's just like that looks really good. It's like you could probably just add that to the original, or do something, or upgrade the controls a little bit. But then again, people will be like, no, this isn't the same Mario 64. It's ruined. I need authenticity. Like, oh. Then again, the remakes of Crash and Spyro, everybody loves, so maybe they would in this. I don't know, just basically really think about getting the physical edition. I might. It's either that or just straight up pre-ordering digital. I don't really know yet. I'm considering it. Then again, limited resources, so I should probably decide kind of quickly. Um, Really, you can't really add too much to this considering you don't even own a Switch.
Kika,
Buy a Switch.
you buy a Switch for me.
Again, they're price gouged. So when they're not, go buy a Switch. I ain't doing it.
Well, nor am I. I don't have money for it because it costs fucking 300. I don't afford that.
How much do you have, not counting when you don't buy anything except for when you do like bills and stuff? How much do you have after?
Well, I have like 1,000, basically 1,500 if you take all subscriptions and stuff and the rent.
Okay, we'll say this. After bills and subscriptions, like literally everything you had to pay for that is out of your control. I mean, subscriptions are technically
wait. I have like 2.5. Wait, how much do I have actually?
Well, let's not say how much you have. I'm saying how much like you get per month, like how much is left over for you to use.
Like 3K, but that's, and then you remove like 1,000 subscriptions, so 2K. So then I buy soda, because
How much is that American wise then? Like dollars.
200.
I mean, granted, if you save that up each and every time, then that'd be one thing. But
yeah, I don't trust their system either. That's another issue.
Yeah, no, you mentioned before something about if you tried doing that, they would see it as a way of payment and charge you for or whatever. But
They'll charge me, but I would get less money. I don't trust them in that sense.
Well, it kind of makes no sense because it's like you're already getting just from that. It's the exact same thing that they already know you do. So technically, you're not getting money from another source. You're getting it from the same source they already know about. So it's just like you're still holding on to it.
Yeah, welcome to fucked up countries. My mama got fucked on that stuff.
Have you heard of my country? It's not the best either. I mean, at the very least, it's not that screwed up to where it's like, oh, hey, if you get paid some, and if you keep it, it's counted as another payment source. Like, no, it's keeping the money that you were paid. It's not you have to spend all your money that you get that month, or else you're getting paid less the next month. I think that's stupid.
Yeah, but the issue is mostly that I buy so much fucking games because there's more games coming out that I want than I want.
I mean, I buy a ton of games too, and that's not.
Yeah, but you have a job. You get more money than I do.
Yeah, true.
Like your argument doesn't work in this case because you still get more cash than I do.
Well, get a job.
Kind of hard when you don't have a education in my country. Whatever my parents says, they are like, "Oh, you can get a job." It's like, no, you can't. You can't get a job without education here. Have you missed the whole fucking
it's
part of
kind
it?
of the same way here. I mean, yeah, there's jobs you could do where you don't need the high school diploma or GED, and those are very, very limited. And then you have the ones where it's like you don't need like a degree or anything. And it's like, again, that's still kind of limited. I mean, not a lot of the very short ones do, but it's like I wouldn't want to. Like, it's all of them are really damn terrible. Especially around here, where I'm at, all we have are plants. Like plants, and not even factories, just plants. Like carpet mills and freaking
My
all
first
this
day
other.
was like actual veggie plants, like not the industrial plants.
Yeah, no, yeah, industrial plants. I'm not. Yeah, I work at a plant. There is a giant peach or like a giant freaking apple freaking growing outside of town, and I go work inside of it. I had to pick all the seeds and make sure that it's like perfectly edible. Working a giant watermelon, but it turned into a fruit.
I'm not too tired, I promise.
Freaking picking daisies, bro.
But that would be a fucking fun plant to work and not that the part where what you mentioned, but like a plant that actually looks like an apple or like a fruit or like a flower or something, and you're like, what the fuck? People would be so fucking confused why there's a plant looking like a plant.
It's pretty meta, bro. But yeah, I mean, there's just like a bunch of stuff there, and again, I work at a freaking solar panel one, but it's just like it's like in reality, my job is not hard. The job is not hard. It's very easy. It's just very tiring, and it honestly just kills me at this rate.
Well, stop
Yeah,
dying.
yeah, that's not how that works. Like I want to get out of it because in reality, I don't have much time to do much of anything. I mean, hell, like I said, when I go to work, I wake up at like 4 or somewhere around there in the afternoon, and then I have to whatever. I wake up around 4, and then uh, I basically have a little time to take a shower, eat, and then I have to go to work for 12 hours, come home, stay up for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, go back to sleep, and I have to do that all over again.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going. And the only time I get to do some is my days off. And half the time I have other stuff I have to do also on the day off. So again, I don't get a lot of time to do the things I want to do. I just don't get it. And granted, that is part of being an adult in most senses, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I get even worse time.
I had
At
the
least people
people
work
that.
8 hours; they have like more time to work with things.
That's why I wanna try. I wanna fucking get enough so I can sustain on Twitch or something, because it's like, at least I know what I'm fucking doing there.
And there's that, but then at the same time, it's like when it comes to like being a full time like streamer or if someone makes videos or whatever, just a content creator being full time, it's like it also is pretty damn rough. I mean, it's not as easy as just hey,
And
I stream and you record, and
I mean, I
even just like
kind of
to
want
keep
to
it
work
captivated
a
for the
job
audience
too, but I
and
don't want to
and
just.
all that.
The issue is that I don't want to rely all on one job because I don't trust one, because I don't trust the workplace, because some workplaces like, oh, you made one mistake, you're out. Like, mistakes
That
happen.
just that just depends on where you work.
Yeah, but that's like, that's place I don't wanna. That's the issue. Is that's the biggest.
I mean, obviously you don't want to go for like 2 or more jobs. I mean, that's a pretty awful way to go. The only time you want to do that is if you're in like incredible debt or something.
Hmm.
So, not a good idea. I sure as hell would not want to get another job. Like a second. If I want to get another job, I'm quitting this one.
I mean, that's why I want to be like have one job and try and have streaming on the side. Well, even though if I prefer streaming main, I would want a second job too.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, you could have both in the case.
But the issue is to get a job without education. I have a lot of knowledge. That's not the issue. It's that it's not on paper.
And that's how it is all the time. It's always you need a paper to say what you can do.
Like, oh, you know enough about this subject. Can you prove it? Like, no, I didn't have a gut. Why? How can I prove it without showing by action? Yeah, you have a piece of paper. You know, piece of paper shows your skills. Like, that's also a question. When did life become a video game? That's basically what the fucking piece of paper is basically telling people. It's like, oh, this guy knows this. Like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't tell that he may know it, but is he able to do it? Two different things. Knowing and doing is two different things.
True.
I can get jobs where you have to have a license though of some kind. Like I think you need like to drive forklift.
Certification or something.
Like I think to drive forklifts, you have to have a specific license. So if you,
I think that's just a certification of a type. I don't think it's
but some sort of certification license type of deal. It's like, hey, he's allowed to do this. I mean, technically I can start a restaurant, but I'm not that good at cooking. Nor do I have the money to start one.
Plus, you would actually need a, well, here you would, I don't know about you, but need a license for being an entrepreneur. You can't just straight start something.
I mean,
you know, like a permit or something. It's like, you know, you don't have one.
I think, isn't that also depending on what kind of stuff you start? I mean, if you start an online site, that would be like, I don't need
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I mean, a lot of stuff you do need one, and then in some cases you don't. I mean, again, with especially with food, if you're gonna be selling food, you definitely need a permit.
Yeah, I think so. And in Sweden specifically, we need, if we want to sell alcohol or something, we need a license for that. You are not allowed to sell alcohol. Well, you are allowed to sell certain stuff like.
Well, that just needs a basic.
Yeah, but to sell like hard stuff like liquor and like whiskey and stuff like that, you need a license.
Store too, yeah, but I mean, you yourself, no, but the store-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're like to work somewhere and sell it, then obviously you just need.
Yeah, that I don't. You don't. That's just like you just have a workplace. But like if you own a restaurant or something, to be able to sell like hard liquor and stuff like that, you need a license. I don't know if you need it for everything, but I think you need it for the heavy stuff. That's like, I think you could sell like the shit, like the basic stuff. You know, the stuff that America doesn't drink.
No, I mean, trust me, we still have plenty. Just most of the time, no one's gonna make it. They all want it imported. Then again, we have people who drink like the weakest stuff. Like, oh, this is the greatest. Like, sure, all right.
Weakling.
How long have we been going for?
2:30.
Jeez. Honestly, I don't really think we need the other 30.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we need 30? Do we have anything else? Do we have?
I mean, not really anything definitive, no. I can't think of anything.
But that's
What's
nothing
else
new.
gonna be from? I mean, granted, yeah. Granted, though, I mean, I still feel like doing 3 hours isn't exactly the best of ideas in the first place. Because even as a podcast, I don't think anyone's gonna listen to a 3-hour podcast.
I don't think people listening anyways, but that's another issue.
True. I mean, I've seen most of them go to at the most 2, and then a lot of them just go like 1.
Most goes to 1. I'm more like
With
this.
us, we
Like
have enough to at least last like 1 to 2.
but I feel like we also cover more stuff because the podcast you think about, they often release weekly or like 2 times a week, so they cover more in.
Most of the time, I at least see just like 1 per week, and then there are some that are like monthly.
Yeah, but I feel like if it's monthly, you can do longer because it's like then you can cover more in a small.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're trying to cover things that are going on in the world, then sure. But if it's just like whatever,
But we're trying to cover a lot of gaming. We try to trash as much as possible. And I mean,
if you're just focused around like tech or something, I feel like monthly you're still not going to get as much because there's not really much going on in the tech industry within a month.
Yeah, but when you're a nerd, a lot goes on.
Depends.
Unless we talk about Twitter, because that's right now it's just a fucking fuckfest on there. Seriously. Yeah. Normally I'm like, oh, Twitter is fun, and then now it's like, by the way, this guy said this guy is this, and I'm like, okay, seriously? You both are idiots, and no one cares who wins.
I mean, I don't really. And then again, no one wants.
No one wants either of them.
Political here. We're not definitely trying to get political here, but we all know who doesn't want, who we all, basically in America, who one person we don't want. Not gonna get anywhere after that, but yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't want Donald Duck. Don't trust Donald Duck.
Yeah, don't trust the duck. Actually, no, I think I'll trust the duck more than this. Of that freaking guy. Not sure how that would.
So go. I mean, what about Mickey Mouse? Would you want Mickey Mouse?
That guy's already a dictator. Honestly, he's probably already really crazy. I mean, okay. Have you, speaking of kid shows, as we were talking about as like a first topic, here's another freaking thing that I've noticed. Let's say, you know the show Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, like the kid show that's on these days. He is freaking everywhere in that. And I mean, like, it's like the clubhouse is named after him. They have freaking places. It's like, the Mickey thing or whatever. Just like they have like a ton of those. They just have like everything named after him. And it's just like, this guy's a fucking dictator, dude. Like, you cannot say that there's anything crazy with that.
So not Mickey Mouse.
No.
Like, so I don't know about Goofy either. That would also probably be bad.
I just don't think it would. Well, he'd be too cool. He just wouldn't know what the hell he was doing.
So what would be the difference from the current one?
I think that's the problem. Maybe they shouldn't get a businessman to be to actually be in control of like high stuff. Don't go there.
Yeah, and that's the issue. That's why it succeeded so goddamn good, was because, as I said earlier about playing the game, he knew how to play the game, who to look for to win. Like, that's an issue. If people learn the rules, you're losing.
Well, it's not even the point of learning rules, because honestly, I feel like most of it was cheated in the first place. I mean, granted,
yeah, Russia had.
The system is pure BS. Granted, because okay, again, I said I wasn't gonna get too political, and honestly, I don't. What I mainly mean by that is, like, obviously, I'm not taking any side here, because me, I'm on the freaking outside of the spectrum to where I don't really give a damn. So when it comes down to it, it's just like
We just
we have
like
a voting
crashing
system.
stuff.
Yeah, we have a voting system to vote for whoever we want, and then there's electoral college that just picks. Like I don't know how that works, honestly. I don't know how the system works.
Yeah.
And if someone's just gonna be off like, oh well, how well how can you not know if you're not you live there? I'm like, yeah, I don't pay attention to it. I never have.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think I ever really learned it.
yeah, and I
Go to
kind of
prison.
understand how it works. It's like a point system.
Yeah.
That's the issue. It's like instead of vote, like most democratic countries work like, oh, if you get more votes, you win, and then you're United
That's how it is
States.
in general. I mean that's basically how it is. Like more votes you win. It's like, yeah, again, the other candidate had all the votes. Like, it was like, oh, that was the people voted mainly for them, but electoral college overruled. Like that's not okay, democracy. Good job. You've done a
Yeah,
fine job there.
yeah, and
That's
that's like
capitalist democracy.
United States in a nutshell. They are like, oh, you say that the one who has most votes win. Nah, we're gonna scrap that idea. We're gonna add this other system that makes it that you need to earn points from different states. Like, no, that's not how.
It is.
Oh, by the way, remember this metric system? Yeah, we're gonna scrap that too.
Oh, you tell me the entire other world uses this Celsius, Celsius, whatever the hell that freaking word is. Now we're gonna use this other random thing we made up.
That also it sounds German. Fahrenheit. That sounds German.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So basically, all America is trying to do is be so different from the world that no one would want to be them. And then they're like, oh, by the way, do you want to work with us? Like, help us? Like, barely half of you understand what we're talking about.
Mm.
And then you have your school system that teaches you fucking the metric system in the end. Like, why would you teach them a second system if you have one system? Like,
I honestly don't know. I mean, they teach it to you in like a few different one. I think only like 2 grades. I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of them, but it's just like they do teach it to you, but it doesn't get very far. You don't get it ingrained into your mind or anything.
no, because the United States is basically like a democratic dictatorship. Like, they try to control the people as much as possible about their agendas. And then everyone outside the United States is wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. People, of course, the freaking patriots are gonna freaking show up out of nowhere and just be like, "Oh, what the hell are you talking about? Freaking America great!" Like, yeah, no, I'm just
Like, you just proved my point, sir.
Mm. Can't be as bad as freaking kids having to do the Pledge of Allegiance every single morning that they get to school. They have to do it. Or not really that they have to. They don't have to anymore. But it's like there were times when that was a thing.
So, what was your first part about freedom? Where's that?
It's a crazy freaking brainwashing shit.
Like, I love how America is like claims to be the land of the free. It's literally in the national anthem they say in the land of the free. What land of free?
No one really cares about the anthem
either. America does.
But again, I never learned it. I never learned it because I never cared for it. I thought it was a terrible song, and I thought it was just a piece of trash.
But also
honestly, literally everyone's just like, oh hey, freaking people love the hell out of the anthem or whatever. I'm just like, that's not very good, especially song wise. It's not very good.
Yours
freaking guy who's singing it sounds like he has a gun pointed to his head, reading off of a script.
I mean, I think the song is so much outdated for today. It literally has like a part where it's about cannons. Like, you don't even use cannons anymore.
Well, yeah, again, it was made back then. That was the point, and they're not going to change it because at that point, like, oh, hey, if you change it, it's wrong. You don't change an anthem. You just go with what you made.
God bless the Queen.
Nah.
Wow, are you talking bad about the Queen?
No, I just think in general, a lot of the freaking ways people do things are just dumb in general. Mainly, I don't care for higher authority. I don't, because to me, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. I know that felt like. But yeah. Since in. Oh god, in 2 years we have election here in Sweden. I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist. At this point, no one fucking gives.
I just don't pay attention.
I also, do you know what I hate the most? It's people that says, "Oh, your vote makes a difference." Like, no.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. I was like, then there's people just be like, "Oh, you should vote. It'll like," or like, if I didn't vote or something, they pick someone. I'm like, "Oh, that's a dumb." I was like, "Well, you should have voted." Then it's like, what the hell would that do? One person does not make a difference.
Only unless you're a little girl that thinks the world is ending by talking a lot on Twitter about the climate change.
What was it? September 25th, September 12th? What was that?
I don't know.
There was a end date. There's a recent thing going on. There's like this cult or something. I want to call it a cult. There's like people going on about like a day that's like the end of the world or something. There's like get a bunch of people on. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be this month. Or something.
My God, the end of the world is like.
If it's not going to be then, it'll be in 2024. I think is what they said.
Are you then talking about November because that's when election is?
No, they're talking about September. They said September something. I don't remember. It was like September 9th, 12th, or something. I don't remember what it was.
Nor do I, because like I'm used to the world ending every year at this point, so you know.
I mean, granted, after this year, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Like no one is like even making a move anymore. It's like, oh, the world is ending. Okay, can I get my pizza now? Right.
I mean, granted, all this shit would probably be over if dumbass America and other people, but
I literally sat in Discord today, or read a Discord today. I was like, someone said, "Oh, we should go to war with China." Like, what?
Why?
Yeah, no one understood why, because what they have done. I understand the reasoning behind her or his argument was like, oh, they do bad things. Like, okay, I understand that, but going to war is a little bit extreme. Yes, we know China does bad things, but like,
well, again, they're still communist, aren't they?
Yeah. So what?
Like the Communist Party, and it's just like, it's their government, man. I mean, it's just gonna
like
happen.
If you're gonna go to war because they treat their people bad and spies on other people, because I promise you, your country is not fucking free of that. You dumb Americans. Like, I hate Americans that's like, oh, China is spying on us. Like, yeah, and your government is spying on you too, but do you care about that?
Yeah, I don't think they understand that without China, without Taiwan, without Japan, basically without an Asian country, a lot of the shit that we own would not exist.
Yeah, so remember that when you have your child labor phone.
Okay, that's a different story. But I'm saying, like, in general, like when you look on the back of a product, it says made in Taiwan, made in China. Like, yeah, if you're gonna be sitting there like, oh, we need to get it to where it's have us in America make it. It's like, oh, those
wasn't it like a Simpson episode that was like,
I think it's American Dad.
It was one of them. He said, "Oh, I bought you a lot of American stuff, made stuff. Everything exploded."
It's like everything just breaks down and I forget what the show. I think it was American Dad, but I don't.
American Dad or Family Guy. Oh look, my Nintendo 3DS is made in China.
Yeah. Parts of it. From a company in Japan.
Can we point out that's kind of ironic though?
What?
That Japan is using China too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They have a lot of stuff there.
And then you have IKEA.
Don't ever buy IKEA, folks.
I'm telling you, Swedish stuff is trash.
You can. I mean, you can, but I mean, you're just not going to understand any of the instructions.
And you could rather buy Lego. I mean, you could build better stuff with Lego.
That'd probably be fine, but you would need to sand down the top Lego bits afterwards, because otherwise you're just like probably going to be hurting every time you try to sit down or whatever.
I mean, if you or you use the flat
frame,
like if you have one of the big what is it called, like platform stuff that is the ground. If you turn it upside down, it should work.
Well, no, because then it's just an imprint. Because it still means that there's like holes there for things to go through, so it's still annoying to deal with.
No, I'm talking about
using it.
No, often here when it's a some of the ground ones doesn't have an underside. It's just flat underside.
I don't know if ours does or not, but because again, I don't really use Legos too much. Not because I don't want to, because they're expensive.
Yeah, why? Why is goddamn plastic so expensive?
Because of what you can make with them, it's freaking a lot. I mean, hell, I would love to grab like the Star Wars ones, but those are huge. I'd have nowhere to put it, and it would take like a week or two, probably even more, considering how much time I have. Like, how much time I don't have really.
Yeah. If you ever get like a week off and you can find like a good Lego set, you should stream and build it.
I don't have anywhere to do that though. I have no space. Literally none.
What makes space? Duh.
I don't have any space to make. My room is basically
You're
full.
American. Just use some TNT and blow a hole in the wall or something.
Yeah, that's not how that works. We don't own TNT off of the random bits. You can't even buy TNT. You can buy a firework, but that's a different story.
That's also a thing. Why is it? Why is America like one of the worst countries when it comes to law? When it comes to like Thursday with the firework law, like you can't buy fireworks here. Like
it's because of the dryness and like everything, like dry or humidity. It's just basically like where you are. So basically,
California, I think, has a firework ban.
Yeah, because like of how dry it is there. I mean, granted, just setting off the firework, it doesn't need to be like too close near a tree. You are likely to set things on fire by using them because of how dry the climate is in that area.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Let's burn forests, no fire.
Yeah, I don't think you could burn fire, and I don't think we should be burning forests either.
True, we get Greta after us.
From the person who spammed team trees for the last every day that it was a thing. I mean, like, good cause, but still.
And then like, let's burn the forest, like
that was a 180.
Like a year ago, like, hey, save the forest. Now, burn them.
That wasn't even a year ago. Pretty sure that was like earlier this year.
No, it was at the end of last year.
Oh, fine. Oh, freaking this entire year has been a blur.
Do you know what year it is?
Obviously, I know what year it is. But I'm saying that, I mean, how I've been working this entire year. I got a job. I mean, I got this job in December of last year, and I've been working ever since. So, quite a big blur.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want this job anymore. I want something else, but there's nothing for me to get.
And
I looked around.
Then, like this summer, you had to take a break from your job because of our nice virus.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 5 weeks off. 5 weeks. And wouldn't you know it, I never got paid for any of them. Because fuck you, unemployment.
Welcome to America, where they fuck you with unemployment.
Exactly. I mean, granted, I'm not the only one who's having these issues, but it's just basically every time that it gets filed, like, the company files it for me. Like, that's what they're supposed to do, because if I do it, I'll get less money out of it. Like, if they do it, I get more, but I'm supposed to get more out of it. But I don't know if it's like they're following it wrong or they're not reading it right, but every time it's like, you don't make enough wages. I'm like, what pay period are you looking at to say that? Because again, it's just like every time they keep saying, I don't make enough in
Yeah,
order
and
to.
at this point, if they say that enough, I feel like it's not their fault. I think it's the workplace fault.
It kind of seems that way. I feel like what they're doing is they're putting the pay period for the time that we are off to back or whatever. It's like they're putting that as the pay period or somewhere around there. So it's just like, obviously I'm not gonna get enough wages because I make no wages during that time period. I'm off. I've made a ton of money, okay? I freaking every time that we are off and I get like a benefits pay, or I'm supposed to, I get a letter in the mail saying like how much I've made wages wise, because like, oh hey, here's this to say if we made a mistake. I'll look at them like, yeah, I think you did. But I can't do anything because the last time I emailed them about it, they said email them to and everything to like appeal. I did that. I appealed. I went to the freaking pandemic whatever thing. I forget what it's called. It's PUA is like the acronym, but I did that too, which basically just means like if you were off because of the virus for any reason, like the work shut down, or if you were getting tested for it or whatever, then that applies to you. None of them did apparently because I emailed them and I never got an answer back.
Huh.
Never got an answer. So I got 5 weeks never paid. And if anybody's wondering, that's a lot of money. It is a ton of money being lost. I make 500 to 300 to 500 per week. It depends on how many hours I work that week. Like one week I'll make about 300 something, the next 500 something. If I work the full time. And yeah, obviously losing a ton of money because the work either shut down and I'm not getting that one, or I'm not getting whatever I'm supposed to be owed from unemployment, which is worse now because they've lowered it. Because like, oh, people are just being out and getting free money. So they're like, nope, we got to lower it now.
America thought.
I mean, it's more of like a state thing, I think, because it's like our state mainly doing it. I'm sure other ones are doing it too, but mine especially is like wanting to lower it. Because I think we're getting like 900 at one point, and then they lowered it down to like 600, and I don't know what it's at now. And that's per week. So yeah, basically, I would be making at the time if I was getting paid for it. Every week I would be out, I would be getting more than I normally would working the week. So it's like, hey, good. It's a good reason to stay out. But no.
Huh.
Regardless, I got none of it. It's bullshit. American government, screw you. I don't like you. It's freaking hear the door bust down, FBI. FBI, open up. Which I don't understand that meme. It's like, oh hey, FBI, open up, and it's like, technically, there's no reason for me to open up. You already busted down the door.
Like, FBI, open up! Break the door. Like,
I mean, if it just says someone screaming FBI, that's different. That's okay. Yeah, that's how that's supposed to go. FBI, open up. It's like, you've already opened up. You busted down the damn door. Jesus.
I mean, you can open up the rest so they don't have to bust your fucking other doors.
Yeah, I guess I could, but at that point, if I'm getting up closer than that, That's the other thing. Apparently, is that if you get too close while they're doing something like that, it's like, oh, you are getting aggressive or whatever.
Like
Not
yeah,
getting into that.
yeah. Welcome to the United States, where if you're brave, you're aggressive.
It's not even that. Just like if you're like wanting to give yourself up, you just like walk up to him to give up. Like, okay, sure, come with you. Nope. Being compliant? Apparently not. But again, we're not getting into that bit. That's a can of worms I'm not going to open.
But do you have a can of worms?
Not,
That's
I will
that's
not
bad.
pull the pin on that grenade.
Stop having grenades in can of worm. Unless you put the grenades in the can of worm and then throw it away. That maybe works.
You didn't even hear me, did you? I don't have a can of worms, but I do have a grenade.
I don't care about the grenade now. I'm talking about the can of worms and grenade.
Okay, cool. But I'm saying, I'm actually being dead serious. I do have a grenade. It is not live. There's a hole drilled on the bottom. That's the point. And the actual mechanism to do it is completely burnt out. Like the fuse is gone. Everything else is just like it's a prop. That's all it is.
Yeah, say that the day when FBI is busting your doors down.
Yeah, they see that like, grenade.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That's also a fake. Like, is it enough that you have?
You could probably use it as a fake because it looks like a real one. Granted, it's probably not the right model anymore, but grenades are grenade. But point
I mean, if you even have an older model, they're gonna be like, he has a grenade.
And again, it's like, if it could work normally, say if you're trying to get away from, I don't know, robber or something, like you do that, they'll probably think it's real. You can get a jump on them or like escape or whatever. It's like, that's a possibility, but it's still not a thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that grenade is. It's either in a drawer or it's on the floor. It's either in like my dresser drawer somewhere or it's like.
Yeah, he's lost his grenade. That's gonna be bad.
I'm pretty sure the pen's already out, buddy.
Well, with that said, it's 3 hours now.
Yeah. That's basically gonna be it. Ending off on grenades as we do. So, yeah, I don't even
ending
need
up
things anymore. Granted, since I'm gonna be splicing this together, I will post these, but it's just for you to read off the screen because there's no other use for it. I can like post these little bits in chat just for you to read off screen.
What have you done
again,
now?
It's just chat, so Discord. And
Discord is weird.
is it this one? And then the audio podcast, which again, since this is recorded as a video on my side, you are just gonna be able to read this off screen or on the screen. I'll put it in the description of the video, so it's whatever. But it's funny. What is that? What is that other command I said in there? Oh, the multi-stream. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
You have 4 commands on the stream deck: Discord, audio podcast, the multi-stream for me and you, and uptime. So, yeah. But yeah, I'd say we're pretty much good to go. So again, for following us on our social media, we have Twitter, which to let people know. I mean, these days I don't really do it anymore, and if I get back to watching the show, I might. But basically, you might get spammed on my end, and obviously I retweet plenty of giveaways because it's my main profile. I'm not gonna make another one to do that. Mainly as if you do that, you actually will not be eligible for the giveaway. They'll just say like, nope, we're gonna exclude you from it. But so basically, I do that. So don't turn on notifications for me. Is this rated 18 plus? Don't do it unless you're perfectly okay with that. And let's see. Then we got our YouTubes. Mine's Next7C. This is Sweden Boy Gaming. And
Discord.
I've already put my Discord in the chat. on my end, and it'll be in the description for the actual video bit.
Also, why did you put in your chat when you're not streaming?
For it to be on screen. It's a reminder, really. It's more of a reminder for everyone to
So
notice.
basically, you were like, I'm gonna put this up.
It pops up on screen, so it's just a reminder. That's all it is.
Oh, you fucking moron.
Nah. I did that on purpose. That was the reason.
Oh, Dios mío.
Yeah. So that's gonna be that one. What else am I missing? We got
Castbox.
I already put it.
That's the audio one. We have.
To the YouTube, Twitch. Same for me. Next LC. His is Sweden Catboy _gaming.
Yeah.
So
Everything is in my description and in his description should be. I hope.
it will be.
I have it as default at this point.
That's because whenever you export on Twitch, it doesn't actually have a default. You have to type in. Half the time, I don't type anything when I export. I just straight up hit export.
Yeah, but I have it as default in upload default, so I just copy that.
Yeah, that's if you're doing that. If you're uploading. For exports, you don't do it. It doesn't have a default. Should.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb, but I do use the YouTube default uploading I have.
I mean, granted, what you could do is just export your stuff as private, and then when it gets there, just switch it to scheduled. That's good to go. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Nothing much else to go for. So thank you for everybody for watching or listening to this episode. And yeah, pretty much that's about it. So hope to see you next time for that. And if you want to catch more streams later, again, Halo is likely going to be Wednesday or Thursday. Depends on what we feel like on those days. So we'll see. See you later then.